This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra. $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX. $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard, unfortunately, to a depressing Monday. Oh, man. I'm kind of torn, because I had like a phenomenal weekend, really a phenomenal weekend. And there was no way I was going to allow the Dolphins to ruin it. As you all know, I don't have a lot of hope for this season as it is. It's not like I was blowing smoke up your ass anyways throughout the offseason. But man, what a great weekend. I don't know how many of you on Friday were at the Parker in Fort Lauderdale. Had a great time. Saw Haircut 100 for the first time ever. Nick and the boys were fantastic. Then we saw Howard Jones. He was awesome with his band. By the way, Nick Beggs is not there from Kajagoogoo. Somebody posted it on the show on Friday. He's no longer in the band on this tour here for Howard. And then on Saturday, I got a real pleasure. I had never seen Michael Schenker live. And I'm a huge UFO fan, and I love Michael Schenker. And it's funny because I had times in the 80s and in the 90s to see Schenker when he came by at times. I just, for one reason or another, missed him. So I was lucky to go. And Jared James Nichols was also opening up, which, Sean, can you do me a favor? Go on my Twitter feed. And I posted a picture of me and Jared James Nichols. I met him in 2017. And then again, on Saturday night on 2025, he's a rock blues guitarist. He's a young guy, probably in his early 30s right now. And it's funny because both of us have changed. He looks much better. I look much worse, of course, because that's just kind of the way it goes. But he was great, dude, on Saturday night. He ripped at the Culture Room. And Michael Schenker's band was fantastic, actually. The singer was good. Did a good job with all the UFO. All they did was all UFO songs. And it was all, obviously, his era of UFO, which was fantastic, dude. And I was able to go out with the wife and stuff. I had a phenomenal weekend outside of those hours of Sunday where I had to do the watch the game, and do the post game. That was kind of like that was like the only dip as like we in Bitcoin. There's except I'm sorry. Let me not do that because I'm going to insult Bitcoin comparing the Dolphins to Bitcoin when Bitcoin delivers. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphins don't deliver at all. More like a shit coin when it has like that hard dip. That's exactly what it feels like. Friday, Saturday, and then just shit coin, some kind of meme coin, some kind of Melania coin or something like that. Shit coin, and there's a dip and everybody gets ripped off. That kind of stuff. Whew. That's what it felt like. But I refuse to allow the Dolphins to ruin my weekend because I had a great weekend. I had a phenomenal freaking weekend. You haven't found that? You haven't found the damn tweet? Oh, there we go. So the first time I saw Jared James Nichols was in 2017. I'm at BB King's in New York. It's the UFO, Saxon, and Jared James Nichols. So I actually wore the UFO, and that's Jared there, and that's me, obviously. I was probably somewhere in the 280s there, maybe 270s, maybe at that point. Now I'm in the 230s, to like 238, right around there. So, what's it called? Then here's the picture from today or Saturday night, right? So there's Saturday night. Look at him now, dude. He's got like these cannons. He is jacked, bro. Jacked. Okay, not me. I'm just a schmuck. I'm ugly. There, I ruined the whole damn picture. But anyway, I'm wearing a UFO shirt. That UFO shirt is from 2017. It's actually the first time I wear that shirt. I've never worn that shirt. So I wore the shirt to the concert, and I went to meet him after he did his set. And he looks at me and goes, dude, I was on that tour. And I go, dude, I saw you at BB King's. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I go, I saw you there both nights. He goes, did I play both nights? I go, yeah, you played both nights. So it was cool. If you're in a rock and you like a blues, this guy is all fingers too, no picks. His name is Jared James Nichols. He's a badass dude, young badass that deserves more love. And then we enjoyed Michael Schenker. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. But it's kind of cool and I had the picture of my phone. That's the beauty of the cloud, man. That's the beauty of the cloud, that it's like, oh, I went back to 217 and boom, there's the picture of me and him
in BB King, and then the one I just took on Saturday night. So I had a phenomenal weekend. Phenomenal weekend, man. I listen, I put very little money on the Dolphins, but I thought, they could eke one out here. I didn't think they would blow out the Colts. I told you guys they can win maybe by a tight game, a field goal. I didn't expect what I saw on Sunday. I did not expect it to be that bad. I don't expect a good season. I expect a bad season, but wow. That was even surprising for me to watch that, and I'm just glad I had a phenomenal weekend and I did not have to, the one thing that I will not do anymore is allow this team to dictate anything about my moods or anything like that. You guys want to win? Great. You're going to lose? I'm not going to get in any kind of bad mood because of you and because of that. And I got to say also, I think it's not bothering me as much. It's because I expected it. And, like some guys told me yesterday on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, thank you for preparing me for this. So that's the good thing. At least we didn't bullshit you people out there. We didn't bullshit you. We told you it's a transition year. I expect him to get fired. And, that you could tell by what they did the entire offseason, there was zero commitment to winning. There was no urgency. I mentioned it over and over and over and over again. So that's the good thing, that we did get you prepared for this, but it's just, don't allow this team to, ruin your mood or anything like that. Like I said, if they're not trying to win, why should you make an effort, And they didn't try to win the entire offseason. There's another agenda going on. And it kind of reared its ugly head right from the get-go. So we're going to talk about that today because, there's deeper issues and we've got to get to them, Stanball Law, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat here on a early Monday. Thank you, sir. He says 1970 season ticket holder selling tickets cheap. Free brown paper bag to wear on head with ticket purchase. Hang in there, my brother. Hang in there. It's tough. It's tough. Remember, please smash the hell out of the like button. We got already 70 likes, man. That's like record breaking lately because it's normally really slow on the likes. So please hit the like button, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live with the pregame, the postgame, breaking news, the show, whatever it is. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That'll give you the heads up on your phone, TV, wherever you use your smart device and all that kind of stuff. So that way you know we're live. Please smash the hell out of the like button. That gets the algorithms going, and more Dolphin fans and Hurricane fans and Inter Miami fans and Heat fans and all that will find out about the show. So we appreciate that immensely. Bitcoin people too can find out about the show. And of course, you can also, we encourage the super chat, just like Stanball Law did right now. But damn, YouTube takes 30% away. So that's why we constantly mention Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Why? Because we keep 100% there, and that's better for Sean and myself and the show and everything else. So we can maintain and keep everything going. Looking forward to Madrid. Like I told you guys, right? We're only doing one trip, Madrid, because that's the only one that's going to be the highlight of our season. Not that you're going to the playoffs, you're going to, but it is what it is. So please, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. The great Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. And he puts just have a great day. And we definitely will. Regardless of the Dolphins, we're going to have a great day. Thank you, sir. Okay. And we'll have a great week in Madrid. We'll cover the events. We'll go to the game. I hope they win, but, it is what it is. We shall see. We shall see what we shall see. Thank you, Ho Yoon. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. By the way, Bitcoin is at 112,200. So it is climbing. The market right now is starting in the red as the Dow is down 43 points. The S&P is up 11, and the NASDAQ is barely up a quarter of a point. Okay. SM98. Big O, do you think Anthony Weaver will get an opportunity at head coach position following this season? Mid-season, greetings from San Diego, California. SM98, welcome aboard, my brother. Obviously, you tuned this out all off season, and you haven't heard anything that we've talked about all off season. And we've kind of been setting all of this up, my brother. And you know what? Maybe we should give them a refresher course, Sean. Should we do that since we're cycling in new people again? For those of you that didn't tune in throughout the offseason, we walked you through all of this. At no point were they trying to win. When they made moves, whether it was in the draft, whether it was the Jalen Ramsey trade, they got picks for the future. When they made the Jalen Ramsey trade that they got Minka in return, they saved $6 million. When Jonnu Smith wanted a contract, they said, no thanks. I believe they realized they made a mistake with Mike McDaniel. But because they had just given him an extension, well, They didn't want to look like horses' asses and then have to fire him when they saw all the defections and people didn't want to be part of this franchise. And as I told you, as I've been telling you for how long now? About maybe almost 2 years now that people don't believe in Mike McDaniel in the building. Because I was saying it last year during the season, right, Sean? Didn't I say during the year? Yes. Okay, because I got to make sure. But all last year I was telling you throughout the offseason that people don't believe in this guy. I don't know how many times. I don't give a shit what outlet you listen to, what writer or whatever, because I had people that were in the business and they think that, this guy has control of the locker room and people really respect him and all that. And that's bullshit. That's horseshit. Okay? And you saw it there. They know that too. But they didn't want to look like horse's ass. So they got through the offseason. They sold you the bullshit of chemistry and slip and slides and go away for 11 games. And the media locally bought all that bullshit and reposted all that. Meanwhile, we told you none of that means anything. Okay? And look what happened on Sunday. A complete disconnect from the players. They weren't ready, emotionally in it. They weren't committed. They were completely out of place no matter what was going on. Give me a break. Okay, so what they did was they set this thing up so they can get Cause now. And he certainly will fail because, like I've told you, the only way you succeed with this roster that's super thin in an NFL where you're all going to suffer injuries. I don't care if you're the Texans missing linemen in a game. I don't care what it is. Go look at the league all over. You're going to suffer injuries. We're not the only ones. Oh, woe is me and all that. Yeah, it happens a lot. But it happens all over. You're going to need a coach that can actually make a difference and overcome stuff. That's not who this guy has ever been. This is a front runner. Oh, things went well, then, it'll go. But if they figured him out, he can't counter. Yesterday, he couldn't counter. Whatever Anarumo was doing to him, he couldn't counter. Did he commit to the run from the get-go like we all talk? No. Same bullshit that's gone on in the past. So it's a dog and pony show is what I believe is going on. You don't want to believe that. Very few of you will believe it and go, dude, it is going on what you're saying. Nobody else in the media has picked up on it, which nobody else in the media has picked up on it. And so they behind the scenes, I'm talking about front office ownership, they say, oh, man, we screwed up here. And they're leaving him out to dry there. They're not going to put a lot of money into Mike McDaniel. They did not this entire offseason. They did the bare bones of everything they did, and then they sold it to you that, oh, it's a fiscal reset and this and that. It's all, yeah, it is a fiscal reset, but it also puts his coach on the bubble because the general manager is not on the bubble. No. There's no way you have this kind of an offseason and your job's on the line. If your job's on the line along with the head coach, dude, you trade picks from the future. You buy in money from Tua's contract. You do everything to buy players and save your ass. You let somebody else clean up the job. That's how it always is. Every coach picks up. Jimmy picked up the cap mess from Shula. When Wanstead left, there was a cap mess. I forgot who got it now. I forgot who took over now. Right after that, doesn't really matter. Tannenbaum and the whole Gase thing, he leaves that cap mess with Tannehill and Ndamukong Suh and all that kind of stuff, and they always pick up from it. He's not doing that. He's having a whole full reset this year. So either he's the most selfless GM I've ever seen in my life, that says, no, I got to do what's best for the franchise, even if it's going to cost me my job. Really? I'm sorry. Who does that? I mean, the level of naivete that is going on in this town, in national, with the media, and not figuring out what's going on with the Dolphins. I get fans. They're emotional. They don't really think. Cerebral. They're not really with their heads. They think with their hearts. They go to echo chambers. They want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. I get that. But they don't see what's going on. Look what's going on. It's obvious. And so now he'll fail. And there it is. He'll fail. And we've got New England and we've got Buffalo next. How do you think that's going to work out? You think players, I love this whole thing. Oh, now we're going to hit the film and we're going to figure out, we're going to see who's committed. I heard this for months. I heard this for months. You're selling me on all this. And look what the end. So now what? In a week, we're going to fix this? And we're going to come out focused and we're going to be committed and all that. And then you got the Bills on a short week who just came back at the end there of the game because the Bills actually have like a passer at the end. You notice that the running game wasn't working for somebody at the end, and then all of a sudden he shit in his pants. No, don't worry about it. You guys, you'll have a whole other year to tell me about how Lamar is the greatest since the sliced bread and all that. Anyway, well, that's a whole other subject I can just rip and have fun into. But you will also have to deal with the Bills. Come on, dude. You expect this guy to last the whole season? Oh, they don't fire people within the season. Well, they will now. You think you could sell Mike McDaniel to fans in 2026? You knew the offseason you had. You know he's not good enough to overcome that roster. You know you're making a head coaching change in the season because he will give you what you need in order to fire him. Just cause. And they'll look at you and they'll say, notice how I'm the only media member that's been telling you this for months now. Welcome aboard to those of you that have been joining us for now. Those of you that have been in it all throughout the year, God bless you. Thank you for your amazing support, your real dedication. I'm only repeating all the shit that you already know. There's a bunch of you like Skylar Tipton and Brian Radke going, I heard this shit already a while ago. This guy's been telling me this for months now, and it's happening already. So there's a whole bunch of you that are new to this, and this is what's going on. He will fail. They will look at it and say, well, folks, we got to save you. We've got to make a coaching change and save the season. Things aren't responding. We're about winning, and we've got a guy in Anthony Weaver that is ready, and we believe in him, and we're going to give him a chance, and he's going to be our interim coach. And that's what's coming. And that's what's coming. This franchise settled for Mike McDaniel the last go around. They're not going to have a line of great coaches waiting to take this job. Yeah, somebody will take the job, but it won't be a great candidate. Guess what? Anthony Weaver is the best candidate that you have right now and will have probably. Again, I'm really sorry to Pat in Nashville that I am repeating this to you. I truly apologize, Pat. But there's a bunch of people out here that have not heard any of this. Okay? A lot of you that are out there, the hardcore that have heard this before, I apologize. Lenny Pena, I apologize to you, sir. James Vivinetti, I apologize to you that I have to repeat myself. I'm not big on that. But this is what I've been explaining throughout the offseason. This is how it's been set up. There is no way Chris Greer's job is on the line. No way. Not with the offseason that you had. No way. Because you had to succeed because you cannot sell anybody next year. So you're going to fix things with inside this season. And if you turn to Weaver as soon as you can and give him a chance to win people over, it saves also the front office at the same time. But if you wait too late to make that change, you're going to get burned overall. So I know you want Ross to sell. I know you want Tua benched or traded or cut. I know you don't want Chris Greer here. I know you don't want Mike McDaniel here. But I explained it yesterday on the postgame show. Okay? Ross is never going to sell. His family prints money with that place. The way Garfinkel structured that thing, it is a gold mine. So that's not happening. Okay? Personnel changes, they don't happen till after the draft. They'll have if they ever make any change with Chris Greer, it'll be in the offseason. They'll bring somebody in. He'll work with the front office. And then after the draft, they release people. Boom, 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 boom. If they're going to do that. Okay? So that's not going to happen. And Tua is stuck here, whether you like him or not, fiscally for 2 more years. Okay? I explained this on the postgame show yesterday. 3 of the 4 things that you want cannot and will not happen right now. The only possible thing that can happen right now is Mike McDaniel getting fired. That's it. That's the only thing. And when will that happen? Well, I mean, don't hold it against me. I don't know anything. I'm just throwing this out here. You looked completely dysfunctional, disorganized, and unprepared in week 1 after months of preparations. You've got New England coming up. You're only a 1.5-point favorite in that game. If you lose this game, doesn't matter how you lose it, close, blowout, it doesn't matter. A loss is a loss. You are not beating Buffalo on a short week. Okay? If Mike McDaniel loses the Patriots and the Bills game, he will be fired. It only makes sense. You have 10 days to the next shot. You can make your switch. Bevel goes to offensive coordinator. Weaver elevates himself to head coach. I forgot the name of the guy that they'll probably elevate to defensive coordinator right now. But either way, they've got people in place that can actually do the job. They just hired him in the offseason. They got a couple guys. One of them will definitely become the defensive coordinator. But either way, you have people in place that can be elevated and take that spot over, and you can try to save the season and inject some kind of life into the fan base. Because if you lose to the Patriots and then lose to the Bills, there is zero hope for the rest of the season at 0-3. And he is not the coach. And they know it. And most of us know it. Whether they want to admit it or not or whatever, it is what it is. You've seen it for years now. And the guy just talks gibberish and can't lead anywhere. But it gives the team a real out and a real opportunity to make a change for the moment. Does it work? I don't know, but I would try it. I like Weaver. I'd rather try that than keep going with this. I mean, in my perfect world, I would fire his ass right now and put Weaver in place. But I think they want to show a little bit more before they actually make the decision. And I think the decision would be perfect. If this happens, unfortunately, if you lose to the Patriots, you are certainly losing to the Bills. There is no reason to continue to move forward with Mike McDaniel. You must admit you've made a mistake. Everyone else has got to admit it. And we at least have to say, okay, what's the best thing you can do at this moment to continue and try to maintain some level of continuity? You put Weaver in place. And Bevel already has offensive coordinator experience. And by the way, his offenses run the ball more. Something that this guy just does not believe in, refuses to make it a part of his offense. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? But that's what's going to happen here. Okay? And we'll see. We shall see what we shall see, as they say. Adam Pinkser, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Says, good morning. Oh, I am still stewing after yesterday's loss. He lives in Indy, by the way. Even Colts fans up here shocked at how well Indy played yesterday. Why wait until the Buffalo game to fire McD? There's nothing to lose by making Weaver interim head coach today. I agree with you. There was no reason to keep McD anyway. Admit your loss and after you extended him. But because they extended him, we are going through this dog and pony show. This is a dog and pony show that they are going through. They saw the defections in the offseason. They know the people in the building and players don't believe in him. They know it. They know it. I've been telling you for a while. They know it. It's in that building. They're very well aware of it. But because of that extension, they look like horses' asses. Like the whole Joe Philbin thing. Same freaking owner, by the way. Same freaking owner with that stupid extension. So they need just cause. And the one game is still not enough because it would still look bad on them like, oh, but you gave them an extension and now you're firing them after 1 year. So a horrible 0-3 start right after the Bills on a Thursday night with 10 games. That's the perfect time to say, folks, we hate to do this, but we've got to do what's best for the team and our fan base. And we still feel we have a chance to save the season. And then make that change. So that's probably what's going on, Adam. And thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. The great Brian Radke chimes in. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for the content. Thank you. And sorry for repeating. Appreciate it. Where's Jack Roldan? I haven't seen him here. He's probably tired of me repeating it. You know what I'm saying? I know some of you out there, you think Blue Dodgers. He heard this all offseason. I know some of those names. I see the names. I know which ones are the real hardcore. Anyway, Pat in Nashville, speaking of hardcore, only time the Dolphins have beaten the Bills since 2018 is when I've been in the same state, and I'm supposed to be in New York City during the Bills game. Even my mojo ain't helping, LOL. Hey, but I'll take anything, Pat. If you can make it happen, that would be good. It's like somebody asked me, but should I But don't you want to root for them to lose so they can fire McDaniel? I can't sit there and root against them. That I can't do. I can't do that. No way. By the way, Sloman's Home Security, a proud sponsor of our program. And today, on the 8th, starts the future of home security. You can imagine a home, all smart devices working together seamlessly and effortlessly with Sloman's Shield Link. That vision becomes reality from a single from a single app that you can control the lights, the climate, the door locks, the music, the blinds, the TV, just about everything in your home, which is really, really cool, whether you're on the couch or on your commute or across country. So if you're headed home, you want to turn on the AC, cool down the house, you can do that. ShieldLink combines professional-grade security monitoring with cutting-edge smart home automation. And those of you that already have Sloman's, you know how you use your app and you can, control everything, see the cameras. For me, I have cameras outside and cameras inside because I've got 4 dogs. So I always want to, check in on the dogs and see if everything's, kosher and all good. But that's what I love about Sloman's, dude. And they combine, like I told you, professional-grade security monitoring with cutting-edge smart home automation. Homeowners can lock doors, adjust the thermostat, switch lights on or off, view live camera feeds, and even create automated routines from a single dashboard. Please reach out to our friends at 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that you are looking for ShieldLink, all-in-one control, advanced protection, personalized automation, and, of course, peace of mind. Reach out to our friends at, of course, they'll get it done for you, all right? And Alarmo gets it done all the time right there. So 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Reach out for that ShieldLink from Sloman's Home Security. All right. Anthony Kyle Campos, Big O, is not the priest anymore. He's the doctor therapist for the insane asylum of the Miami Dolphins. Me and the boys finished Indy with Ruth Chris. Okay. All right. Gio, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Oh, you think this team is the worst than the 1-16 team? It is kind of like the coaching wise. Yeah, there's no respect. It reminds me of Cam Cameron's team. There is no respect for the guy. They don't believe in the guy. They think he's a joke. As I've said in the past, when they talk about our guy, coach, oh yeah, he's funny. Yeah, no, that's what I want him to say about Shula and Spo. Yeah, no, I want to hear about Paul Maurice. Yeah, no, he's funny. No, I want to hear that he's a hell of a coach. Oh no, I want to play for that guy. I want to go through walls for that guy. That's what I want to hear. You think I want to hear that my coach is funny? What is this? The whole Joe Pesci Goodfellas thing? Do I amuse yous? Is that what we're here for? No, dude, I don't need my coach to be funny. I need my coach to be effective and win and know what the hell he's doing. Frankie Fresco. Oh, he's hurting, man. Thank you, Frankie, for the super chat. If the Dolphins think just firing McDaniel is enough to win over the fan base this season, they are wrong. You need to make a statement. Reset time. It's not, again, English. Okay? The other stuff will happen, if it's going to happen, at another time. The only thing you can do right now is the coach. That's it. The quarterback is stuck here for 2 years fiscally, as I've said over and over, just like Tyreek Hill. It's the same shit, Frankie. We had all the idiots and stupid media members. Oh, trade Tyreek. They cannot trade Tyreek. It'll accelerate. They'll have to cut players, and they really can't even. They really can't tell you they're trying to compete. Here, they were at least trying to sell it to you, and some of the media and some of you out there bought the bullshit that. If everything goes well, we can be really competitive and all that. Get the hell out of here, dude. You're thin as hell everywhere, So only one thing can possibly happen right now. Will it fix it? Probably not. But that's the way the game is going to be played, whether you like it or not. Ross is not selling. Greer will not get fired. Not right now. If they're going to make a change with Greer, it'll be after the season. And Tua's going nowhere for 2 years. They can't move him. So only one thing can happen right now. That's it. I'm telling you logically what has to happen. The other stuff is just doesn't make sense. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm not telling you it's here to make you happy. Okay? I'm not telling you you're going to be satisfied. You will be unsatisfied. Like a South Florida matchup. You will be unsatisfied, Frankie. But that's the reality that you live in. I can only tell you what reality is. I'll let some of our local writers write fantasy for you guys, and I'll let the radio guys, play the little kids game that they play every year where they talk up the team and talk up hope because they really don't want to face reality and all. I forgot who it was. I talked about it yesterday in the postgame show. I was in the car, and I heard one of the hosts on QAM, I forgot who the hell it was, say, well, you can't start the season just being negative. Well, no, you call it like it is. I laughed. I'm driving. I'm going, okay, bro, play the bullshit game with people instead of being honest with them. And that's the problem that we have. But, they're afraid in radio that you'll tune them out and all that. And it's happened to us. People have tuned out when I've told them that, hey, this is going to be a bad season. It's happened. I know it's hurt myself, but I don't care because I'd rather be honest with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Than call the bullshit. Sean, do me a favor. Give me a 15 or 30 second. Let me turn on the AC because it's getting a little sticky in here. Thank you.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
All right. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you very much, as always. All right, man. We'll get through this one way or another. We'll get through this. You know what I'm saying? We've been at this for many, many years now. Actually, many decades. That's the scary part. We've been at this for many decades. Think about that. Many decades. It's 3.5 decades that I've been dealing with all the frustrations of Dolphin fans. And I don't blame any of you out there. I don't blame any of you for having the apathy. I don't blame any of you for being mad at the team. I don't blame any of you for being frustrated. You're entitled to it. You're just entitled to it, man. It's disgusting what you've had to go through, the fact that you spend your money, you spend your time, because you do that. You spend a lot of time. And they don't reward you. And that's the frustrating part, that your fan base needs to be rewarded, man. At one point or another, it's decades that we're talking about. For a while, the Panthers did it for a while, and they didn't come through. And now they do. So people hung in there, and then they finally repaid them. And now they're repaying them in spades, something that the Dolphins can never do. It's a shame, man. And we have a phenomenal fan base. By the way, Subaru of Pembroke Pines, go visit Alan and the great people at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. The Subaru Crosstrek right now, perfect car right now for new drivers, entry-level, stylish, and reliable. and it makes getting around really easy and fun. Check it out at Subaru of Pembroke Pines and also the Subaru Legacy in Cosmic Blue. They won't be getting any more of these, so these are limited. Make sure you take advantage. Go visit our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Go see Eric Stampone out there and all the great people. They will take care of you, man. Good people out there. We'll be broadcasting out there in a couple of weeks at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. What do we got here? Ty in the Bronx. Big O, we tried to tell these Finns fans are done. Yes, Ty, and you've been around, Ty. You check out the show every day. Thank you, sir. And everything I've been talking about is happening. And we'll see now what ends up happening here at the end. Let's see. John Wayne's 45. Big O, disappointed Monday, but hey, we are closer to getting rid of McDummy. Adding insult to injury, I put an 11-team parlay, $10 July, plus 34,500. 10 teams hit. Guess which one didn't? I lost $3,450. The Dolphins. Yeah, it's hard, man. Betting on the Dolphins is like crazy, dude. And thank you for the super chat, John Wayne. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. What else we have here? Leon Fresco, thank you for the love in the super chat. Week 3 too soon. McDaniel gets until Madrid. I don't think so. Not at this pace. If you lose the next 2 games, you're 0-3. The season's over. With this coach, the season's over at 0-3. So that'll be my prediction. That'll be my prediction that they will. You're not selling him next year. Why are you going to continue to hang on? Find out if you got something in Weaver now. That way you can, if Weaver can't adjust or give you some light at the end of the tunnel, then you know at the end of the year, you go, okay, well, we're going to have to go for a coaching search. But you're not selling McDaniel for 2026. So why would you continue to allow him to really bury the season? You make a quick pivot and you give yourself 14 games left. You give yourself the slightest of hope. Will it happen? I don't know if the guy will turn around. The roster's really thin. But if he shows anything, that's when you can say, well, maybe we got something here. And maybe the players will play harder for him and smarter for him. I don't know. But it's bad right now. And I think 2 more games done for McDaniel. Okay? Now, if he wins against New England, loses against Buffalo, I can't guarantee anything after that. They may hang on another game or 2 or 3 or whatever. But I think if you lose the next 2 and you're 0-3 and it looks bad, yeah, I think that's the time that you definitely get it done. Dougie Fresh says, just ask your wife and daughter when they see a classroom out of control, not doing work, you can bet that it's the substitute teachers. All the students think it's funny and cool. Exactly. And that's who Mike McDaniel is, the substitute teacher. Amen to that. Yes, sir. I would agree with that. Did you have the window open there, Sean? Did I miss it? No? Okay. St. Michael says, I just saw an ad on Instagram from a jersey company that is offering 75% discount on the Black Dolphins jerseys. If that doesn't tell you the season is over, nothing will. Stephen Harris says, big old warning, we have a butthurt Tua hater on the chat board. Okay, good for him. What else? McD will be serving the McRib by week 6. And that's a good bet. It's a good bet. Outside the pod, I'm afraid Ross won't do it. Brand new from Northern Virginia. Thanks for the content, Big O. Normally he wouldn't. This will be different. So we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. Nobody thought Flo was going to get fired. You're new, but told everybody Flo was going to get fired, and he got fired. So I'm just saying. Oscar Rojas, good morning, Big O. Smashing it and the like. Thank you out in Melbourne. And by the way, we got outside the pod because you guys are smashing the like button. And that gets the algorithms going, and then it pops up for other Dolphin fans. So thank you. Appreciate you. And I appreciate All Year Cooling, baby. Proud sponsor of our program. I have known the Smith family for, 15 years or something like that. Tommy and all the great people out there at All Year Cooling. And I got to tell you, I have my AC that I just turned on is 15 years old now. And I got it with Tommy's dad. And so Junior is now running the show. Senior, rest in peace. Just an absolute amazing man. And Tommy now has picked up for years now and taken the ball at where we wish our head coach would. If our head coach was half as good as Tommy Smith Jr., well, then that would be a whole different ball game. Same-day services and install. By the way, they service everything from Homestead to Vero Beach. Okay? And by the way, we just added Naples. You can go to the website, go to allyearcooling.com. You can get a free estimate. They're open 7 days a week. 888-204-5554. That's 888-204-5554. They've been in business since 1973. So that's 52 years, over 350,000 satisfied customers. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you at All Year Cooling. Looking for maintenance, a little service, or you're looking to buy. There you go. And reliable. Like I told you, my AC is 15 years old and still feels great, man. Feels great. Let's see. Did Greer want McDaniel? If not, it is why he may be safe. That's the question we have asked for a while now, right? And when you look at this offseason, it went two ways. If your job is on the line, how is it that you don't go sign big free agents? If your job's on the line, how is it that you don't make any big-time trades? If your job's on the line, how is it that you don't re-sign your tight end and give him an extension because you got him to a cheap contract? You did a great deal. Chris Greer made a great deal. He got a steal with Jonnu Smith. But he didn't want to pay. So on one side, there was no urgency. So you're going to tell me that everybody's safe for 2026? There's no way. I think only one person is safe. And that tells me, is what we've been talking about for well over a year now. And for those of you that are new, let's add it again. All right, here we go. Ready? Follow me on this. Chris Greer, okay? His dad worked for Belichick and Parcells and Belichick. His dad is the guy that assisted him in drafting Tom Brady, by the way, just so you'll know. And then Greer came up through the Patriot system, grew up with the Parcells Belichick regime. His brother's a hockey player, now a general manager also in the NHL. Okay? This is a tough family. First time he gets a job, gets the job as the general manager, he goes and grabs a Belichick disciple. So his life has been around Parcells, around Belichick, around his dad, his brother, all hard asses. And then he goes and gets a hard ass and Flo. And then all of a sudden, he goes and signs McDaniel, which goes completely against his entire history. It may be his selection. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just going, well, wait a minute. He has a track record, a history, and he went completely against that track record in history with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel does not resemble Parcells, Belichick, Flo, hockey, nothing that Chris Greer grew up with. Nothing that he learned from is Mike McDaniel. And then you have this offseason where you would figure everybody's job's on the line. So if everybody's job's on the line, you do everything it takes to win. They did nothing. They did the bare minimum. Their draft picks. James Daniels was a secondary free agent. Wasn't like a high-level free agent or anything like that. You're trying to save your job? None of this jives. If you really put it all together, how does it make sense? Every other coach or GM we've ever had here has sacrificed their asses, even Shula, to save their butts and win and do whatever it takes. Sacrifice and mortgage the future and picks and money and all that. Do you think Tannenbaum gave a shit about our future? No, he didn't. We had millions and millions and millions of dead cap money after he left for a couple years. Did he give a shit? No, because that's what they all do. Yet Chris Greer is like, no, we got to be fiscally responsible this year. Bro, don't you got to win? I don't go by what you say. I go by what you do. And not enough people in the media and fans have gone by what they did. They weren't trying to win at all. At all. So your job can't be on the line, dude. That tells me that you did not pick McDaniel. Somebody else did. And so you worked with him. Oh, and by the way, the other hint, this offseason, he goes, well, sometimes I've listened to my coach too much. How come he didn't say that before? Maybe he said it now because that's not his guy. So it's like him distancing himself indirectly from, and whoever did pick it, Garfinkel, Ross, whatever, you're like, well, it was their guy, really. I just am working with him, and maybe that's what I shouldn't be doing. I should just pick the players that I think is right. And maybe there was a come to Jesus behind the scenes. And they said, yeah, we're going to get out of your way. You pick the coach. I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to find that out. I will try my best. But I tell you this, if one guy leaves and the other guy stays, that tells me all I need to know. Just tells me all I need to know. All the entire time for the last 2 months, did I not tell you the whole Waller thing was complete bullshit? That they were lying to you, that there was either an injury or a mental issue. Did I not tell you that? And then finally came out, oh no, he just picked up a setback. Come on, man. Go sell that bullshit somewhere else. That bullshit's not being sold here. Okay, because I'm living it right now. It's day number 18,865 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi trophy. I live it every day. And I've been doing this for 35 years. So it's really hard to get BS by me. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all out there. Reginald Stambaugh, you are a stud. Thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, a vintage 1970s horrible hanky to wipe the tears. I need one of those. Anybody got an extra horrible hanky I can hang back there? That would be really cool, actually. That would be really, really cool. Thank you, Reginald. Appreciate you. Never thought of that. Finding a horrible hanky to put back there. That would be really, really freaking cool. Oh, the amazing Jack Roldan is in the house. He goes, thanks for the shout out. Selling season tickets. See you in Madrid. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, we got to definitely hang in Madrid. I talked to my guy in Madrid. We're going to try to get him on the next week or two. He's working on a bar for us to broadcast from. A Dolphin, make it like a Dolphins headquarters where we can all meet and, commiserate and, all that. But, what can I tell you? we're still going to be fans, man. We love the team and everything, but it is what it is. What are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you, as always. And say hi to the family, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Let's see. Jose W says, Finns fan, so you don't know football, just Tua is what your guy's saying because what's being picked up? Oh, I don't know what that means. Razor Blood. Big O, you're not making sense. Greer has failed for 20 goddamn seasons. He hasn't been in charge for 20 years, but it's a nice try. It's a nice try. Fernando Perez, the only credit we can give McDaniel for overcoming is Jack Daniels. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. It's rough. Dolphin, well, at least the weather might actually start to get a little cooler in South Florida. It's not really what we want, actually. We really want heat and humidity. What happened to those days? What happened to those days where we used to be in the Orange Bowl, out in the middle of the sun? We wanted the heat and the humidity. We wanted them with their hands to their hips by the third quarter and sucking wind. The cooler is not what we want. We don't want the roof. We don't want that. We want 1 o'clock games in September and October, and we want heat, baby. That's what we want. We're looking for comfort and AC and all that bullshit. Things change, dude. Seriously, like it makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, God. It paid to be uncomfortable. Remember that? You don't, because you're not old enough. I am. I remember as a kid going to this Orange Bowl in the 70s and even for the Canes in the 80s. And you had the confidence that you were going to kick the other team's ass, and it was hot and humid, and you didn't know if the second level of the Orange Bowl, it was that water or urine falling on you or whatever it was. It took you an hour to go get something, and it was a shithole, but you didn't win in that shithole. It was loud, it was noisy, it was rumbling, it was hot, and still they couldn't get a playoff because they couldn't hear a damn thing. We're soft, just like the damn team. Anyway, Holt says, I wish the Canes would have won by a bigger margin over Bethune-Cookman. FIU was 42-9 and we won 45-3. That's ridiculous. You're fine, bro. They did fantastic. They won. They took care of business. They benched the guys. They got in backups. They did just fine. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They thoroughly dominated and controlled the opponent. I'm fine with that. Just win this week. That's what you got to do. And by the way, this is awesome. This is fantastic for the Canes because South Florida comes in ranked. So you get to beat another ranked team. I love it. Love it. That is awesome. Great move for the Canes. I saw that, and they beat Florida. Sorry, Frankie. And I get it, and all that good stuff. And it won't be necessarily an easy game, but you win, you beat another ranked team. And that's really good for the resume. So I like that. I like that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff for the Canes. I can't wait. The Canes, I told you guys I live in reality, guys. I told you. I'm super pumped about the Canes. I am not about the Dolphins, just like I expect the Panthers to go out and kick ass, and I expect Inter Miami to choke like a dog. I live in reality. I know what I see, okay? And that's it. I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative or anything like that. I'm not. When I see something great, like I think the Canes can be, I'll say it, and the Panthers, and I'll say it. And if I think Inter Miami are frauds and they'll choke, I'll say it. And if I don't think the Dolphins are any good, I'll say it. And if I tell you that Pat Riley and company, they don't know how to become a great team anymore, I'll say it. They used to. Now they don't. Reality. That's where we live on this show. Reality. I love you guys. I love all my teams, but I'm not going to bullshit about them. I'm not. That's not my style. Never been that way. Stephen Harris says, Big O, it's funny how people like Frankie have so much energy to talk smack about Tua and not his Gators. Frankie's hurting right now. He's got to do something. Nico Jones, trust me when I tell you, I know that Greer is in the hot seat as well for his drafts, resulting in the lack of depth, overpaid disgruntled free agents. The 2022 and 2024 drafts hit was 20%. I get that. I'm just telling you, there's no way he's in any hot seat right now. There's no way. What has gone on, no hot seat. So this kind of tells me that the McDaniel thing wasn't his pick. But we'll see. We'll find out. Time will answer all. But I think McDaniel's gone in short order the short man is gone in short order if he loses to the Patriots and the Bills. It would be the perfect window to make the firing and make the change on that 10-day break. That would make sense. But we'll see. I'm not always right, and I get plenty wrong. I'm human. Can I get a Perdomo victory cigar for UCF? Oh, they actually won? You know what? UCF won. So give them a victory cigar. I have no idea. Did they really win, Sean? Are you sure about it? They did? Okay, give them a victory cigar. I didn't know they still had a program. Did they win another national title last year? Oh, they did? Oh, I didn't know that. Had no idea. Won another national title. Multiple radio shows and concerts. I'm at a concert and I don't want to sing along and I'm trying not to, and yet I find myself, I'm like, shut up, bro. Shut up. You got to do a talk show. Shut the hell up. And there I am in a concert, burning my voice out even more. I'm an idiot. Oh, and so then I'm reaching for the Mucinex, baby. God, I love that thing. Cody the moron. Join the club. Me too. Tua and Greer a bum. Herbert equals Marino. No, Herbert is not even close to Marino. But hey, man, how about Kansas City? Let's go over that. I like Kansas City in that game. Obviously, you wonder if it's catching up to them finally. You know, because you always got to give them their due. But you know, at one point or another, you're going to fall off a cliff. It happens to all the great teams. And you wonder if that was the case in that game as the Chargers pulled it off against Kansas City. We'll see as the season goes on. I mean, the Chargers I don't buy, but the question is it not that the Chargers are any good, or is it that Kansas City has taken, a step back or two now because they've kind of worn down from everything they've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time, dude. It's a bitch. Bengals over the Browns, 17-6. Flacco, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Burrow, 1 touchdown, just pedestrian numbers, but they got the victory. The Raiders over the Patriots, the team that Miami plays next week, 20-13. Geno Smith, by the way, 362 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Brock Bowers, 5 for 103. Dude, tight ends against the Dolphins secondary is going to be scary. Drake May, by the way, threw for 287 yards, a touchdown, and an interception in that game. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers gets his revenge against the Jets. He throws for 4 touchdowns, 244 yards. Justin Fields, 218 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 48 and 2 touchdowns. Let's see what else. Oh, and Jonnu Smith, 5 receptions, 15 yards, and a touchdown in that game. 3 yards per catch. Not necessarily killing it for Jonnu Smith, by the way, but he got a touchdown, so that's what they'll glorify. Commanders over the Giants, 21-6. Jaden Daniels, 233 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 68 yards. Russell Wilson, 17 of 37 for 168 yards. You know Jackson Dart will be starting soon. Broncos over the Titans. We told you to take the Broncos, right? Although, it was for not for the points, because I got off the points because it was too much. But I did tell somebody that wanted a what's that called? When you got to pick somebody and they got to stay alive or whatever the hell, a hangman shit or whatever. I don't know what the hell that's called. What's it called? Huh?
Survivor pool.
Survivor. That's it. There you go. I gave them either the Commanders or the Broncos, and I was right on both. I got both right. So on the Survivor pool, whoever I told take Commanders or Broncos, I won on both, baby. I like it. Packers over the Lions. Boy, they kicked their ass, 27-13. Micah Parsons got a sack. He didn't really have a great game, but he had a sack. Love had 2 touchdowns. Goff, 31 of 39, 225, a touchdown, and an interception. And then the Bills over the Ravens. Very, very interesting, the Bills over the Ravens. What happened there? I mean, all these Lamar Jackson people, man. What happened? Lamar had the world by the balls. It was 40-25. You're up by 15 points with 11 minutes left. Ravens get the ball. They punt at the 7:28 mark. The Bills score, make it 40-28 to 32. Then Baltimore with 3:49, and Henry fumbles. Bills, Allen score. The 2-point fails. It's 40-38 with 1:58 left. Ravens stopped. How come on 4th and 3? You have rushed for 238 yards on 8.2 yards per carry. Your quarterback is throwing 14 of 19, 209 for 11 yards of play. The game's on the line. You're at your own 38-yard line. They're asking John Harbaugh, why didn't he go for it? I mean, if you have so much confidence in your passer, why didn't they go for it? And by the way, with 11 minutes left, how come the passer couldn't get it done? Oh, because they shut the running game down? So they didn't allow Derrick Henry to have his way anymore? Is that what it was? Because, let's see, Derrick Henry had 169 yards, 9.4 yards per carry, and Lamar Jackson, 6 for 70, 11.7 yards per carry. 3 touchdowns there. So what happened, dude? I mean, if you got a quarterback, the Bills, their quarterbacked his way back in the game and won. It reminds me of when Tua came back on Lamar Jackson, where they actually kept stopping him and Tua kept scoring and they came back and won. It's interesting how when the run game isn't working for Lamar Jackson. Now, if it's dominating and he's front running, things are easy. Yeah, I'm just wondering, bro, because, you talk me up Lamar Jackson every year that he's this great quarterback and this amazing passer. Bro, they put up 40 points and he threw for 209 yards. But, I mean, it's 4th and 3. The game's on the line. You didn't even go for it. Why? Because they kept shutting your run down now? You didn't have any confidence in your run? Why didn't you have any confidence in the passer? You got to win there. You can't give the ball back to Josh Allen because he's actually become more of a passer than Lamar Jackson is. Proven in the game. They needed a passer at the end of the game, and the runner couldn't actually maintain the lead. The runner, because he's certainly not a passer. Sure, he gets passing stats and all that, but they're empty stats. That's why he fails in the playoffs. They shut the run down, and then you need the passer to elevate you. And it's amazing how Lamar Jackson can never really elevate in the passing game. Just interesting. So interesting. It's interesting how he shits the bed when he goes up against a passer that has got it going on. He can't answer back. Kind of helps when you have the beast back there, huh? Boy, I wanted him badly for the Dolphins. God, that was stupid on their part. They don't go and sign. How do you not go after Derrick Henry when he's available? Because you know what? We would have Derrick Henry here and we would still end up passing the ball. That's how stupid we are here. You know that? If you think about it, we would do something like that. We would actually do that. That would be exactly the way we would handle the situation, as they say. Anyway. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Chainlink and Solana too, by the way. I don't think anybody's done a Solana donation yet. Chainlink, definitely Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I don't think they've done a Solana donation, if I'm correct. By the way, Bitcoin is now starting to move up a little bit. It's at 12,678. So it's trying to make its way to 113. I got to make sure I say 1 in front of the 12 or the 13. But trying to make its way to 113. It is. We are about to get vicious rips, okay, to the upside. Metaplanet bought 100 and let's get into our R&M contractors crypto segment. Thanks to Ray and Mike and all the great people at R&M Contractors. As Bitcoin right now is sitting at 112,669. Solana, by the way, is up 5.5%. It's at $215. So Solana is one of those that's actually moving really well right now. Bitcoin continues. We're going to have vicious rips coming. I'm telling you. It's about to happen here in the next couple of weeks here. You're going to see violent rips to the upside. So those of you that have invested here, not that I'm a financial advisor or this is financial advice by any stretch, you're going to love it. Metaplanet just bought 136 more Bitcoin for $15.2 million at 111,666 per average. They now have 20,136 Bitcoin at $2 billion. All right. 103,196 per coin. Michael Saylor today bought 1,955 more Bitcoins. All right, for $217 million. I'm sorry, $217.4 million. At 111,196 per coin. Slightly better average. They now own 638,460 Bitcoin, worth $41.1 billion, worth $73,000.8 per coin. Fundstrat CEO Tom Lee today on CNBC, said that he expects Bitcoin to hit 200K by the end of the year. Do not give up. And by the way, we have been over 100,000 for a long time now. That's the norm now. So call our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike, 305-345-3649. Go to their Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island, so you can see their work. It'll blow you away, man. Blow you away. Let's see. Funny how Lamar has better numbers than Tua. Hell yeah, bro. Give Tua that running game. You know, that's the problem, Dizzy. We have a lot of stupid fans and a stupid team. You know, as I've explained for many, many, many years now, if you don't run the ball, you're not going to get anywhere. And they don't run the ball. And Tua's not this guy. Tua's an exceptional passer, but this guy was a freak, and this guy couldn't win anything. Got a couple games, got in a playoff a couple times, but every big moment embarrassed thoroughly. Why? Because they couldn't run. And he's a freak. Okay? Tua's an excellent passer, but he's not a freak. This is a freak. You only get one of these every lifetime. Just one. We had him, and we screwed it up. We didn't run. Anybody can win. Look at Jalen Hurts. Who is it, Dizzy 911? What happened to Jalen Hurts in Alabama, Dizzy? Oh, I'm sorry. He couldn't pass. So they sent him out to Oklahoma. And Tua replaced him and went and won the championship. Why? Because they can block and run the ball. But the problem, Dizzy, with a lot of you people out there is you don't fucking know football, dude. You're idiots. Bob Greasy won a Super Bowl by throwing the ball 7 times in a game. In the Super Bowl. Because they ran the ball. You think Jalen Hurts is winning with his arm? No, they just need him to complete a couple passes. It's the run game and the D-line and the O-line that's dominating. Tua doesn't have that here, Dizzy. It's a problem with most of you out there. You don't really understand football. If the Dolphins can't win at the line of scrimmage, you're never going to win with Tua. You're never going to win with anybody, not even a freak. You can have a freak, and you'll never win. You know what happened? The freak gets to the Super Bowl and gets thoroughly embarrassed by a team that has an offensive line and a D-line and can run. Do you think Marino had Roger Craig? No, he does. No, they don't have Derrick Henry here or Roger Craig. But that's all right, Dizzy. I get it, bro. There's a lot of you out there that don't understand football. So that's all. Tua is not the quarterback that can carry your offense. And by the way, those people never win anyways. You're going to need a team. You're going to need to dominate on the D-line and O-line and the running game. You're going to have to do that. But the quarterback that runs around and has to do everything, none of those guys have any titles. It's the ones that actually have a D-line and O-line. Jalen Hurts would have never won if it's not for the dominant O-line and D-line and the running game. I'm sorry. Hey, Sean, does Tua have Saquon Barkley back there? Oh, but Jalen Hurts does. Yeah, Dizzy, that doesn't make a difference having Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley back there, huh? No, but A-Chan, right? Fucking idiots. I mean, some of you are just stupid. Really, you just don't know football. That's all. You just don't get it. You're morons. And then you know what it is? We have dumbass media that say the same ass shit. We have people on QAM that say the same stupid shit because they don't understand football. So you'll never win with Tua if you cannot run the ball and block. You'll never win. And he's an idiot when he fumbles because he thinks he can go scramble around and he's Frank Tarkenton or he's Roger the Dodger or he's Lamar Jackson or whatever. Dude, I've lived it all, and he's not that. And when the pocket crumbles, just like Tom Brady, when Miami would give the Patriots problems, what would happen, ladies and gentlemen? When they rarely beat him, when they would beat him the few times, or when they gave him a really tough game, why was it? Because they were pressuring him, because Jason Taylor was harassing him. That's it. Statues can't work in those areas. Tua's a statue. Until you learn how to run and block, you'll never win with no one. No one. But so many of you, like Dizzy 911, you just don't know football, dude. You just don't understand it. That's it. Frankie says, thank you for the super chat. If you say the Dolphins have no O-line, then why do you believe in Greer? It's not that they don't have an O-line. Do they commit to the running game? You have Ollie. He got you the big back. He can't call the plays, dude. He can't call the plays. Did you start to run the ball? I mean, what are you going to do? Even when you had Rob Hunt here, you wouldn't commit to the run. That's why you got to fire the coach. And again, Greer deserves all the blame. Ross deserves all the blame. Tua deserves all the blame. You guys are all right. I'm just telling you, none of that's going to happen. So you can continue to run your mouth and do all of that and all that. But I'm just telling you, for now, the only change you can make is the coach. Personnel won't happen for a while, if it happens. That's all. So you're all right. I don't know how many times I have to say, all of you that want Ross to sell the team, you've got every right to say that. That Greer needs to go, you have every right to say that. That you don't want Tua, you have every right to say that. That you don't want McDaniel here, you have every right to say that. Go for it. Knock yourselves out. I'm just giving you the reality. Okay? Tua can play, but you got to put it under the Alabama structure. Actually run the ball and protect. They don't do that here in Miami. So if you don't do that, you're not going to win. It's pretty simple. It's not really that difficult to figure it out. So the Dolphins need to get rid of the Chris counterfeit Greer. Fins fan, Mr. Spock, Mike McDummy will not run the ball. Terrible game day coach. He hasn't changed or improved. In the end, he will force the offense into bad scheme decisions. The team is a mess, just like Mike. Exactly. He's right. Caneswear is also right. Go see our friends at Caneswear. All right, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. And you can get 10% off by using our code BIG010 on anything you buy online at caneswear.com or in person. Canes gear, Dolphin gear, Marlins gear, Panthers gear, Inter Miami gear. They got it all there. Championship Florida Panthers gear too, by the way. And anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. They got Dolphin stuff too, all kinds of shirts, hats, a lot of hats with the classic logos on it. Like this one you can get at Caneswear. What else? We have another, this hats at Caneswear. They got a ton of hats. They got all kinds. Oh, this one I think is also from Caneswear. So use our code BIG010. A lot of the old logos, they have hats with a lot of old logos. They know I like hats with old logos, so they have to stock up just for me. Okay, they do it just for me. Anyway, go see Brett and all the great people out there. They're awesome, man. Seriously, just awesome people. They will take care of you. And when you order online, they get it out quickly. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off at caneswear.com. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Ray, good morning to you, sir. He says, good morning, my brother. Happy Crypto Monday. Keep stacking. He goes, I love my Dolphins, but unfortunately, I don't see McD winning this upcoming Sunday. Mike Vrabel had his number, and after this Sunday, McD's hot seat will be very intense. I don't see McD surviving at all. I think he's a goner, bro. I think you lose to the Patriots, and then they're not going to make a change before the Bills because it's only a few days. After that Bills game, I think you have to. I think you have to do the responsible thing. By the way, Bitcoin is now at 112,858, trying to make its way to 113,000. I like it. McDaniel isn't great, but not many coaches are succeeding with inconsistent QB play availability and no secondary whatsoever. Recipes for shootouts with your backup QB. Minnesota does pretty well when they switch out QBs, and they've been able to win some games. Sometimes you have to, dude. You know, sometimes when your quarterback gets injured, and by the way, maybe your quarterback won't get injured that much if you actually would dedicate to the running game. That could help out your quarterback. By the way, also, Eric, since I like this. I always love this. Does it help your quarterback to get the plays in on time? Did they do that yesterday completely? Were the players ready to? Were they set all the time? I'm just wondering. So it would help to get plays in on time. It would probably help to give Tua the playbook, not just a check with me system. It's interesting how Tua looks so much more different when there's competence around him than all the incompetence we've had under Flo and under this guy. Like, just overlook all of that. Oh, injuries at quarterback. Well, other people have injuries and they find ways to win some games and patch things up and overcome. Does this guy overcome anything? Anything? No. But hey, let's not, of course, let's all put it on the quarterback, of course. Yeah. Octane genius. Tua was unfortunately too coddled, and though he was beloved and a great human, he's not smart between the ears nor as fast as he wishes, and we needed him to be. Josh Allen will own us this year. Of course they will. It's a much better team. So what? Jim Kelly owned Marino. You probably weren't around either. Marino couldn't move around either, dude. Sorry. I guess you didn't see that. But Buffalo thoroughly manhandled Marino in Miami all the time, dude. So I don't know if you checked it out or whatever, but Marino couldn't move either. So that's kind of the way it goes. When you don't have a mobile quarterback, you got to block for him and you got to run the game, run the ball. And Shula didn't refuse to find a running game. I mean, he tried. I'm going to say like refused, like he didn't, but he was inept at it. And he wouldn't commit either to the run because he had no running game to commit to. So happens to even the best of the best, which is Marino. Okay. And plenty of people blame Marino to this day. And that's some silly shit too. The problem with the Dolphins is they're not investing in their offensive line, and for some reason they won't. And cornerback is arguably the second most important position. Yes, right. But there was a reason why all those things happen. I've kind of explained that already. What else? Frankie says it's the QB coach and GM. Unfortunately, we can only start with the coach. Hopefully we finish with the reset after the season. Half of our season in 72 was with a backup quarterback. Actually, it was even more than half. But yes, you are correct. You got to overcome, dude. Shula won his 325 with Doug Peterson. Shula got to a Super Bowl with Woodstock. That's why that guy over there is talking about, blaming it all on one. You're full of shit, dude. Full of shit. Real coaches adjust, and they're able to do it. Look, we got Ira coming up. The best coach in town, Eric Spoelstra. He can only do so much, dude. And he's been able to get the max out of anything and everything that you give him. But in the end, you still got to give him stars. And you don't expect any titles from Eric Spoelstra if he doesn't get a star. And I bet you that if Eric Spoelstra, for the next couple of seasons, was a play-in coach, which it's probably going to end up happening because that's kind of where this team is. I'm going to have people saying, oh, Eric Spoelstra's lost it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen because that's what the lazy fan will say. And I'll say, no, it's just that the front office hasn't complimented him. And sometimes your players need to be complimented by their coach. Your players need to be complimented by the front office by getting other players to help them shine. because sometimes the focus is too much on one area of your team or offense or defense, and it becomes exposed. So it's easy to eliminate. Well, that's kind of what sports is all about. You got to find complementary ways to lift the entire organization. If you're only depending on one part of the organization, whether it's just a personnel department or just a coaching or just a talent, you're going to fail. If there isn't synergy involved in all of it, it just doesn't happen. And that's why for 45 years, the Dolphins have failed, because there fails to be synergy from the ownership all the way down to the players. And when you see it happen for a while with the Heat, for 25 years, it's because they had to go in. Now you see it with the Panthers. Everything is flowing from beginning to end. In other places, whether it's Inter Miami or whether it's the Dolphins or it's the Marlins, kind of the Heat now, a little bit now, the dysfunction's there, that disconnect is not there. They're not complementing each other. Right now, the front office is not complementing Spo. They are producing 0 stars. And in this league, you can't win without stars. So sometimes it's not as simple as blaming just one player or one coach or one, or the front office. Collectively, there has to be that connection, that symbiotic connection. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk some basketball, some NBA, some Miami Heat with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Ira, good morning, sir. Fun weekend, man. It was good to see Mickey Harrison get his props.
You know what? It was, and it was good to see the familial approach by the Heat. That to see guys like UD there and Zoe there and Dwayne, who was there for other reasons also, and Eric Spoelstra, and just how they marched together. And you could say what you want about, I heard you talking about the Dolphins and team struggles, but I do think this team moves in lockstep. It might not be the lockstep that Orlando Alzagari prefers when it comes to stepping back to step forward, but there is continuity there. There is not one person blaming just one person saying this guy is the scapegoat. And I think when Mickey showed that, he said, look, we haven't always won. I love Mickey Harrison's line when he referred to Eric Reed's interview with LeBron, and the not 2, not 3, not 4. And Mickey goes, well, we won 1, we won 2, not 2. Okay, just 2. And he was candid about it. Winning is hard. The Heat have recognized that. But the one thing about the Heat, which I'm not so sure about some other teams in our market, save maybe for the Panthers lately, they all share the common vision. They share the common approach. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, we could debate on our Acura Pembroke Pines report, but at least they have the same value system. It seems with some other teams in the market, Marlins, a player is good, boom, he's gone. Dolphins, they're going to swear by this quarterback. They'll swear by this coach. They'll swear by this GM. And a bunch of people almost looking like they're trying to cover their butts instead of cover up mistakes and move forward.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Although on the Heat side now, it was a team that used to produce stars. They're not producing stars anymore. And that is the disconnect right now from the front office to the coaching staff. And that's where I'm telling you, in the next couple of years, if they do end up being a play-in team constantly, which is what they've been the last couple of years, and if they're that, you're going to get it on your emails. Oh, Spo's lost it. Spo's lost it.
Getting it already.
You're getting that already?
I'm getting that already. But Big O, I will say one thing about this. I do think they're trying. Now, you might say, hey, Ira, this Giannis stuff has been pie in the sky. Give it up already. Hey, yeah. Ira, waiting for the whale has been pie in the sky enough. Yeah. They're trying in their own way. Now, here's the deal. What might have worked a decade ago with the big three, we know now with the luxury tax, with the aprons, with the hard cap, it's not the way it works anymore. Shoveling a bunch of salary cap money or even a big bag of championship rings is not the way it's done anymore. It's done with trades. It's done with the draft and with patience. But the ingredients in there, the patience ingredient, I'm not so sure Eric Spoelstra has it. You were talking about the Dolphins and their coach and what they need to do to move together. I'm not sure if someone told Eric Spoelstra, Coach, this has been 17 wonderful years. Will you be willing to sacrifice 2 so we can get into the lottery, get a top pick, reset and move forward? Big O, Orlando Alzagari, are you so sure that Eric Spoelstra would say yes at this point in his coaching career?
I don't really give a shit. No, I'm dead serious. I don't give a shit about Riley's age. I don't give a shit about what Eric Spoelstra thinks. I don't care if Arison thinks, oh my God, we're going to lose interest and less people. You must do what's best for the franchise. What's best for the franchise is tearing it down, getting as many picks as possible, opening up cap space, and leaving yourself liquid, and at the same time go draft. And if you get into the lottery, God bless you or whatever, because really the only way you're going to be saved is if you unearth your own star again like you did with Dwayne Wade. Or you need to go out and get those picks. I'm sorry, but you got to pull the scab off the wound already. And the Arisons aren't willing to do it. And if Riley isn't willing to do it because of age, and if Spo isn't willing to do it because of his tenure at this point or whatever, well, I'm sorry, guys. Then you go ahead and keep running your Gus Frerotte head right into the wall, because the Miami Heat will continue to fail like they've been failing the last couple of years. That's the message. And if they don't get it, then, dude, go ahead. Be as hard-headed as Mike McDaniel in the running game. Go ahead, baby, because that really works. Avoid the running game and avoid reality, Miami Heat. You need to desperately reset, because you're just going to be a play-in team from here on out.
And I will say this to those following on the chat and your super chat right now is this. Would you be willing to do all of that if it meant Eric Spoelstra stepping aside saying, hey, I love the Miami Heat. I love what we've done. I'm not here 17 years in for a rebuild. I'll gladly move to the front office. I will become Brad Stevens and do what he did. But that's not what I want to be. So, Big O, would you be willing to sacrifice your favorite coach in this market if it meant that Eric Spoelstra just simply was honest and said, that's not what I'm here for?
Dude, I love Eric Spoelstra, but he's got no freaking shot at winning anymore with the roster that he's been given now, with the lack of talent. He has no stars. There are no stars on this team. There isn't one stud that you put out there and people fear in the NBA. We used to have those guys constantly here. No more. They don't exist. I don't give a shit how good Eric is, and I know him and Don Shula are in a different level than everybody else in this town, including Pat Riley, by the way. Those two guys are in a different level.
Enduring success, right?
No matter what, he cannot overcome this dude. And so I'd rather him not suffer, if that's what it is for him. Dude, retire. You've paid your dues. You gave us an amazing career. You deserve whatever you want to do. But what's best for the Miami Heat franchise is a full reset, and they're not willing to do it. And that tells me you guys aren't willing to go through the pain you really need to compete in today's NBA. You will never get back to championship status unless Pelle Larsson or Ware or somebody turns into a freaking star. That's the only hope we have left now as a Heat Nation, is that they draft somebody that ends up becoming a stud.
So you're not buying you're not buying Nikola Jovic or bust. Okay, I can see that. What I'm saying is,
I like Jovic too, actually, but I can't say they're going to be studs yet, Ira.
And that's fine. You are talking the kind of reset where probably Pat Riley, thank you. You become what Jerry West was to the Lakers, a president emeritus. Eric Spoelstra, 17 wonderful years as coach, but Brad Stevens made the move and has excelled. You make the move now, and you excel in the kind of reset the Celtics have had. Chris Quinn, you're going to be coaching a really awful team for 2 years and may not even be here after that when we do reset and maybe need a championship-level coach. But for now, come on down. We'll reset. Big O, the point I'm trying to make here is there are so many massive upheaval-level steps to get to where you want to get to right now. That's not something you decide in a day, in a week, or a month. That's something you really had to sit down and decide last June or in July to redo it. So if it happens, I don't see that as a now thing, but I understand your perspective of it can't happen soon enough, but it will be a massive upheaval. It will require a dramatic change in how the Heat market themselves over the next couple of years to move forward to see if the fan base stays with it, or if Mickey Harrison and Nick Harrison have to say, hey, we have empty seats at the starts of games, but not at the end. We might have to have empty seats at the end of games also, like the Panthers did for years, like UM's Hurricanes did for years until Mario seems to be getting them back on track. I have no issue with that. The only issue I have with this is it cannot be done piecemeal. You are all in or you're all out. Instead, we're right here in the middle, riding this. You talk about your Dolphins, and oh boy, they still might finish, 9-8. They still might come, and they might. But what does that get you? I get that. The Heat, they might escape the play-in. They might get to number 6 and go right to the playoffs. But what does that get you? But what I'm saying is, it can't be piecemeal. It can't be just like you said, the Texans are saying, get rid of Spoelstra or get rid of Riley or Harrison has to spend more. It has to be this massive press conference at the Caneswear Center. We are moving into the next gen Miami Heat. Heat Nation, stay with us. We will come out on the other side so much richer for the experience. But it has to be all in, all together, and accepting the pain.
Yeah. And I again, we talked about this last week. Dude, if there's a team that it's earned the mulligan,
I agree.
Guys, bro, give me a break. That's the beauty of being the Heat. You've earned the mulligan. You can actually reset and nobody can tell you a damn thing because you can look at them and say, screw you. I've given you a quarter century of amazing basketball and winning and championships and tons of conference appearances and division titles. Get the hell out of my face. We need to reset. You've earned that. But if you don't do it and you're just chasing your tail here, I've already seen this movie here the last couple of years.
And
I already
know what?
And
it's a massive move. It's like the moves newspapers went when they went to digital primarily. It's the move that Orlando Alzagari went when he went from QAM to his own station. And you know this, Big O, and I know this. That requires pain when you make a dramatic shift like that. So again, it's almost like an investment, like Big O would tell us with his Bitcoin, and he had to survive the dips to endure the rises also. You have to be willing to accept short-term, maybe not so short-term pain for a longer, better outlook. It hasn't been the Heat's way, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is time for new era. Maybe with the Dolphins, like you've been pointing out on your show after the loss, whether it's Greer or McDaniel, it's time for, hey, when you sweep it all out, it's going to take time. But you need to do that. Resets are difficult. You know what? To me, it would be one of the biggest stories in my 38 years of covering the Heat if this management and ownership agreed to such a dramatic reset. They've never done it before. Pat Riley happened to quit New York, happened to be available. Boom, they were able to do that. All of a sudden, Alonzo Mourning wasn't happy in Charlotte. Boom, they were able to do that. All of a sudden, Rick Adelman decided Tim Hardaway couldn't play anymore. Boom, they were able to do that. The Heat have been able to do that with the Big Three reset, with Shaq, to a degree with Goran, certainly with Jimmy. But to do the entire bring it down reset, have not seen it during the Harrison administration or really any time during the Heat. It'll be fascinating, but man, it'll be a dramatic 180 from their way of operating.
It'll be us going back to expansion years. That's what it is.
Well, just like the Thunder went back from their Supersonics in their good year, even under Chris Paul, and they took a step back. It's hard to do, but you know what? To me, the case study right now might be the Boston Celtics and what they're going through. The realization that sometimes it's your time and sometimes it's not your time, or else you wind up like the Philadelphia 76ers. And you just say, we'll sign Paul George. We'll keep putting stuff in there because they endured so much of their reset there, of the process. You don't want the process. I don't want 12 years in the desert, but I believe there are smart enough people here. between Andy Ellisberg and Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and Nick Harrison and Mickey Harrison, I don't think they'll be in the oasis in the desert like the 76ers were under Sam Hinkie for a decade plus.
No, I actually think if the Heat do a complete reset, I think they'll climb faster than the norm because they've done a really good job of drafting. And if they have picks, they'll be able to make a trade for a young player somewhere. You know, to me, it would be exciting for me to watch them do a reset. And by the way, it'd be a nice challenge for them because they've built championship teams the other way. Now they get to build it a little bit differently. And I think it actually would be cool to watch, you know, but again, everybody, like you said, they're in different peaks of their lives and their careers, and they may not be willing to sacrifice.
So what I would want to ask your listeners is this, and in your chat is this: would you be willing, honestly, to endure short-term pain for long-term gain and still stand by your team? Because you know what? Words can be hollow. Are you going to turn on the games? Are you going to go to the games? Are you still going to buy your, I don't know, Khalil Ware jersey, your Nikola Jovic jersey? Are you still going to be part of the process? It's so easy, Big O, for fans or for us to say what fans should do, but they also can turn the channel. That's when you see whether what Mickey Harrison spoke about in Springfield in the Hall of Fame and building the long and enduring fan base, how loyal is that fan base? Yeah, that's what short-term pain means.
But you've also done a little bit of Dolphins like, where you did 25 years of building a lot of winning culture, and then that should buy you the good graces of people.
And the Dolphins have.
And the Dolphins have abused it for decades now. They've abused everything they did in the 70s and early 80s and have never lived up to it ever since. And people are still giving them the benefit. Now, football is different. It's a different drug in our country than basketball. But the Heat have earned that already with what they've done, that people, I think they would be smart enough to say, well, dude, this is like our best option right now. This is the best way we could go. We need picks. We need young players. This is the direction. I think.
Except in football, you're only asking. In football, you're only asking fans to endure 8 or 9 bad home games. In basketball, you're asking them to endure 41. So there is a little bit of a difference in the pain. But I really would be curious. I almost would like to see Orlando Alzagari in our Accurate Pembroke Pines report here start an online petition where people would actually sign their names to it. I am willing to stand by my team for 2 more years if short-term pain can bring long-term gain. I actually wonder how many would sign on. And if enough would sign on, then yes, I think that he should take notice of that.
Any of them that are Bitcoiners, they're going to say yes because, bro, us Bitcoiners are the mentally strongest people that there is out there, brother. I mean, we laugh at dips.
And then us Dogecoiners are in a different place, but I understand.
Yeah. We don't flinch. We actually buy the dip, and then we see it go back up again. It's going to go to a new number and a new number and a higher number and a higher number, you know. So Bitcoin people are well trained to have, you know, nerves of steel, as they say. Dwayne Wade nerves of steel, in other words. All right. But who's the next Hall of Famer for the Miami Heat? Because we got a nice collection developing.
Well, I mean, it all depends on when LeBron James retires. So, you know, that'll be a factor. They have that. It's kind of weird. They have a waiting period for players, but not for coaches. So Billy Donovan is still working, and he gets to give a speech Saturday in Springfield. But players, no, you have to sit on the side. You have to be out of the game. We're afraid you're going to return. They never fully understood that. LeBron will be in. It'll be fascinating. You know, people have this thing. What team are you going to enter with? It's not like baseball where you have a cap on your butt.
I know, but if he had a choice, he'd still probably pick Cleveland.
He would, because that's where he's from, but that's not what it's about. You don't go in with the team. You go in as a player. So at least you won't have that debate right there. So, you know, that'll be it. Look, Jimmy Butler's numbers and Basketball References predictor have him going in the Hall of Fame. Kyle Lowry is right on the cusp. I don't see it. But I guess when you endure and win a championship, you can make an argument in that case. I sort of have a little bit of an issue with that. So there will be more in this Heat class. And I think Eric Spoelstra is going to reach the point when he gets to 20 years plus where he could still be working in the business and still get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, that's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there in Eric Spoelstra. All right, what else you working on in the Sentinel?
posted a story. The Heat have been in touch with Precious Achiuwa to possibly address their power forward void. They are talking to him, seeing if they can reach an agreement. If they do, there probably will be more work with Terry Rozier to either encourage a buyout, possibly to waive him to see if there's a way to eat his money. So those two things are intertwined, but the Heat have been talking to veteran big men. They realize Vlad Golden, while he's a prospect on a two-way contract, probably not ready. And you know what's interesting? This goes back to the subject of this entire Acura Pembroke Pines report. This is a team, because it's who they are. When you bring in a Precious Achiuwa, you're saying we're still trying to win in this moment, that it's a little bit less about development and you're trying to win now. Big O, it's who they are. It's what they are. They can't help themselves. If they see a way to get from 10th place to 8th place or 8th place to 6th place, it's the game that they play. So for now, you have to appreciate that's who they are.
All right, one last thing before I let you go. Who was the best Euro player for the Miami Heat?
I would say that probably I would put Goran Dragic there just for what he did and for what he did before he got here also. You know, I mean, there haven't been a ton.
I'm talking about like this offseason, like in Euro basketball.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about
it's I think it's a slam dunk.
The best out of all of them.
Based on expectations, Pelle Larsson took a big pair step forward. Look, we're talking Sweden. We're talking a country whose national sport is smorgasbord. And here's a guy who went out, took him into the second round of Eurobasket, played an unbelievably competitive game against Turkey to get themselves into that position, fought to the end of their knockout round game. Look, Nikola Jovic, nice player, but he was deferring to Nikola Jokic the entire time. Once that team lost, Serbia lost Bogdanovic, they weren't the same team. But Pelle Larsson showed this guy has exactly what Big O you've been speaking about. He has that big pair. He has that fortitude. You know what? If you would ask me even this, which European player most exemplifies Heat culture?
Yeah.
It's Pelle Larsson. He is Keith Askins. He is PJ Brown. He is Dan Marley. He is dive on the floor. He is use up his 6 fouls aggressively. Man, you were talking about how the Heat, you have faith in their future because of the way they can draft and find players. You're talking about a guy at the end of the second round in 2024, and what he showed this summer, man, that is a hell of a steal, arguably as much of a steal as several of the Miami Heat's first-round draft choices. Yeah, I see good days ahead for him. Man, Pelle Larsson's a gamer.
Yeah, dude. And again, he played for Sweden, so you knew he would end up like the Lira, down on the floor. So, you know, it's not his.
And can you smell what the Swedish chef is cooking? So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'll be beautiful. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you very much. We will catch up next week, my friend.
All right, I'm going to head into the tank, and hopefully my team follows me. Thanks, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Ira Winderman. All right. Our happy new model year sale going on right now at Acura Pembroke Pines. 4.9% financing for 60 months for the ADX. It's a beautiful sedan, man. $299 a month right now, the lease feature. 2025 Integra, $299 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX 2025 model, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX Type S, still have a few 2024 models. And remember, the orangutan is eliminating the bonus, the $7,500 tax break. So if you want to pay $7,500 less for your electric vehicle, do it now. 0% financing for 72 months. It'll be gone very soon. He's eliminating that stuff, so take advantage. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out there killing it, baby. At Craig Zids, Acura, up in Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's in Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Actually, you know, I see Lenny Pena put Sasha Danilovic, who was a bum. Soft as hell. That was in the days where Riley didn't even give a shit about the draft. Those guys like never had a chance or whatever. But what's it called? When I look at Pelle Larsson, he reminds me of Sharonis Marciulionis. He reminds me of Drazen Petrovic. These are names that most of you don't know. If you're a little older, then you'll know. Those were European players. One of them is no longer with us. I believe Sharonis Marciulionis, I think, is no longer with us. But those are guys that, like Marciulionis was like stacked, bro. And he was physical and he was fearless. And you see that there are certain Europeans that would come. A lot of them back in the day were really soft and they were more finesse players, the Tony Kukocs of the world. But every once in a while, you'd end up with a Sharonis Marciulionis, a Detlef Shrimp, a guy that would play with an edge. And you were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not your normal European. That dude's got some, got some stank on him there. You better watch out, that kind of stuff. And to me, that's what Pelle Larsson is. He's dog, and you can't coach that shit. That's the stuff you can't coach. You can mold it, you can refine it, but you can't create it. You either are that or you're not. You're either Udonis Haslem or you're not. You either are wired that way or you're not. You're not going to be Udonis Haslem if you're not wired that way. And I think Pelle Larsson is one of those dudes that's just wired like a dog. Love him. Love him. Love him. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And the great Alan Blanco, if you need custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. Tonight, NFL action, Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Minnie is favored by 1.5. The over and unders 43.5. Vikings minus 125 on the money line. Chicago plus 105. Fort Lauderdale United got it done over the weekend. They defeated Spokane 1-0 this Saturday. They will host Dallas Trinity FC at Beyond Bankcard Field at 7:30. University of Miami taking care of business. Well, Saturday they will host South Florida, who just beat Florida. And they will host South Florida at 4:30 in the afternoon. It's on the CW. UM, number 5 in the country. South Florida, number 18. UM favored by 16.5 points. Over and under is 54.5. South Florida plus 525 on the money line. Miami is minus 800 on the money line. That's some crazy stuff. Dolphins and Patriots Sunday at 1 o'clock after their debacle against the Indianapolis Colts yesterday, 33-8. They are 1.5 favorites against the Patriots at home. Patriots are the over and under is 44 points. Patriots on the road, the money line is minus 125. Dolphins at home are minus 105 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Thank you out there. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. How are we doing in the market? Did the market get any better is the question. It did, actually. It's up 53 points. And the S&P's up 22, almost 23 points. And the NASDAQ's up 0.5 point. So we got it. Does Sloman Shield do business in Central Florida? Yes, sir. They do Florida. So, yes, Florida. If you live in Central Florida, South Florida, whatever, Florida. So please call them 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them you heard it on Big O. Tell them that the Big O Show sent you. The operator will go, huh, what? But it doesn't matter. Just have them just mention. But yes. Yes, sir. They do. What else do we have here? I'm not confident on anything this team going forward, says Joseph. I would imagine he's talking about the Dolphins. Let's see. What else do we have? Just unloaded my season tickets that I've had since the late 70s, says Chip Brown. I'm done with this garbage, not wasting any more money or Sundays until wholesale changes for the better are made. Wow. I have a friend of mine that also canceled his season tickets. He called his rep, told him, yo, man, don't bother me anymore for tickets. I'm not getting any more tickets. So I was like, wow. He's had tickets too since like the 80s. Kind of crazy. Let's see. Dolphin Dave says, what if I told you the Dolphins have the GM and the head coach in place in-house? You never know with this owner. Lenny says, Pele's got that dog in him. Those are good comps, Big O. I hope Pele can develop a jump shot like the great Drazen Petrovic. Yep. Drazen was a fearless dude, bro. And so is Sharonis Marshallonis. He reminds me a lot of that. For me, there's a lot of Sharonis Marshallonis in him. Pele reminds me of that because Marshallonis was a little bit more forceful. And I kind of see Pele in that sense. I don't even know. Does he even know who Sharonis Marshallonis is? I wonder. Probably does, right? Because I would imagine European players get some kind of a history of the Europeans that have crossed over, and it's not like this incredibly long list, so you should be able to kind of know who's who, right? Brett Dodger, Big O on a sadder note, R.I.P. Davy Johnson, very good, underrated second baseman and manager, and Rick Davies, an amazing musician from the great band Supertramp, who I saw many times. Yes, Roger Hodgson and Rick Davies were the two lead guys of Supertramp, and Roger's the only one left now with Rick. I believe he passed away at 81, I want to say. He passed away. And Davy Johnson, good manager, man. Had good success. I did not know that Davy Johnson passed away. You are breaking news to me, sir. Rest in peace, Davy Johnson. Big O, I can't take this franchise anymore. It's the dumbest in football. Every decision they make is awful. When will it end? Paul in Connecticut. I have no idea, Paul. It's 45 years, my brother. I have no idea. No idea. Jesus says, Big O, I don't want Greer picking the next head coach or the next QB, even if he did not pick McDaniel. Okay, but you know that that's not how it works, right? If he's still the GM, just telling you. I'm just saying. You can want what you want. I'm just, you want Ross to sell and Tua cut and Greer fired and McDaniel fired. That's not going to happen right now. Okay, you can want it all you want, and I understand you're not happy, nothing's working. You all should be complaining about everything. But right now, I think only one of those four things can happen. The other stuff has to change with time, if it's going to change at all. Okay? But if you change the coach, it might change some of the environment. You just never know. But what will never change is if you stick with Mike McDaniel, things are staying the same. Hey, look, one thing's for sure. I'm just happy that Sean and I didn't BS you guys about all of this. Okay? And I didn't play that silly-ass game where we try to paint some kind of a picture that really doesn't exist and then build you up so then you can tear it down, because that's what they're all doing now. It's easy to tear it down, but why don't you talk about it ahead of time and warn people and tell them? And that's what most people in the media didn't warn you about, how bad this is and how they don't believe in that guy. So, Think Blue Dodgers is saying, let's wake and bake and smash the like button, folks. Pat in Nashville says, look on the bright side. We only lost 40% of our starting O-line during game one. Got 60 left. I'm with you there, Pat. That is a super positive if I've ever seen one. For a long-time season ticket holder to cancel their season ticket shows complete disgust with the franchise. Not just one person. I can't blame them. Yeah, right now, dude, any fan that feels like shit or wants to fire everybody or can't stand anybody, nothing's working. So all of you have a gripe and you have a reason to bitch and complain. Nobody can take that away from you. But yeah, what the hell's going on with Austin Jackson and James Daniels? And the pec one with James Daniels, dude, that one scares the crap out of me, that it's usually one of those torn pecs. And then the dude is done for the year and all that crap. Sean, there hasn't been any breaking news or anything on the Dolphins end, right? Have you seen anything? No? Okay. Big O, you saying Greer won't get fired? Did you listen to the show at all? Have you listened? Go back and listen to the beginning or something, dude. Have you paid attention? Clean your ears. I pretty much explained everything that I think is going to happen. Carlito says Greer needs to go. He fumbled and botched the franchise after having all those picks and picked 2 head coaches. Total failure. No way he sticks around. Okay. No way. Just want you guys to know. No way he sticks around. Let's see. You're asking me to go on a show to talk Dolphins. I'll do it, of course. What the hell? Andrew Watson, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Coming to Miami this weekend. Would love to meet, brother. The best part of the Fins is our loyal fan base and you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Friday, we're going to be tomorrow we're at Hialeah, but Friday we're at Acura, aren't we, Sean? So if you're coming to Miami this weekend, Friday we're at Acura Pembroke Pines, my friend.
And Wednesday will be...
I don't know if he's here.
Hollywood, right?
Oh, yeah. Wednesday we're at Toyota of Hollywood. Yes. So I don't know if you're here on Wednesday, but Friday... come by Hialeah Park, man. So come on. Oh, I'm sorry, Acura Pembroke Pines on Friday. So would love to meet you, man. Come on out. We'll be really good to see you out there. And you've been supporting the show for many, many years now. So would love to see you come by and appreciate the donation as always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We always encourage Cash App or Venmo because the show keeps 100% of the donation. We love the YouTube super chat, but they take 30% away, those bastards. Like, YouTube doesn't have enough money. They pay you shit for the videos. Like, you could never live off the views. Give me a break. Let's see. What else do we have? Let us know what show you're going to participate in. Oh, it's in Kansas City. It's they want me in Kansas City. I will be on the 2-minute drill around 5:20 today in Kansas City. Whatever the sports station is there. Let me see if he puts it in prior texts. 8:10 Kansas City. Okay. 5:20 at 5:20 this afternoon Eastern time. I'll be on 8:10 in Kansas City on the 2-minute drill. Okay. So there you go. If you want to check it out, I don't know. What else do we have? The last time I was on, no, it was the second to last time I was on a couple months back. A friend of mine who was a Kansas City coach was listening. And he was, he's like spot on this, that. He reached out to me and all that. So I told the host after, I go, hey, you got former Kansas City coaches listening to your show. He goes, really? And I go, yeah. I didn't tell him who, because I'm not going to tell you guys who. But yeah, it's just somebody I've known for like 25 years or something like that in the business. And he was listening to the Kansas City show since he lives in that area. Anyway, what else do we have? Big O, you catch the Sunday night football game. How the hell does Buffalo keep on winning? I'm over it. I wish the Dolphins were just as good as Buffalo. Guess it's never going to happen. No, because we don't run the ball like they do in Buffalo and play defense like they do in Buffalo. And they were getting all runned over, and then they shut down the run at the end of the game. Yeah. So, like I said earlier, all of a sudden the Ravens needed a passer, and they couldn't find one. Funny how that happens every once in a while with that guy. Everything's front running when you're running. That's great. But if you fall behind, well, you can't really catch up with running. And if they figure out your run, and boy, you're doing it. You know what? God bless John Harbaugh. Because, Stephen Ross wanted Lamar Jackson. Lamar would have failed here terribly because they would have tried to make him a passer since he's not. And since he can't really be a full-time pocket passer, he has to run the ball in order to be who he is. You know what I mean? God bless John Harbaugh, because he's the only coach in the NFL that would dedicate himself to this offense full-time. And then you go and get fucking Derrick Henry. So not only do you have the greatest running quarterback in the history of the game, you then add one of the best running backs of all time. Because, by the way, Derrick Henry is now in that conversation. He's with Jim Brown and Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. All those guys that you talk about being the best ever, Derrick Henry's one of those. So you're talking about one of the biggest physical freaks like a Jim Brown. And you have added even more to the running game. So it becomes an impossible running game to stop almost. And yet the Bills figured out how to slow them down at the end of that game. The last couple of drives, the Ravens couldn't do anything. They needed a passer there. What happened? Even on 4th and 3, your running back's averaging 9 yards a carry, your quarterback's averaging 11. You didn't go for it. You didn't count. They were shutting the run down, and why didn't you count on your quarterback completing a pass on 4th and 3? A lot of quarterbacks have to complete passes on 4th and 3. In fact, I saw Josh Allen complete a bunch of passes in several drives to bring them back. Interesting. So the passer came back and won the game. The runner couldn't maintain it. Interesting. He would have failed here badly, Lamar. He wouldn't have had the same success. Thank God for John Harbaugh, because he's made Lamar Jackson a Hall of Famer. Staying with that offense that way, he'll put up the stats to be a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that, because he has been one of the freakish athletes that we have ever seen in our lives. There's no doubt that he's a mismatch. But it's all running, baby. It is about quarterbacking. So that's why you got to win those are the moments he loses in the playoffs because of that. That same scenario last night is what happens to Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Oh, you're front running. Oh, the run isn't working. Trouble in paradise. Anyway. What else do we have? Jeff in Long Island. Allen did get better. Yeah, he did. He's gotten better as a passer. You have to give him credit. He's always had kind of that clutch gene in throwing, that he has moments where he's kind of erratic, but then he needs this tough throw and he makes it. But he's gotten more sharper as a passer, whereas still waiting for the other guy. But don't worry, maybe 5-10 years from now, you guys can finally. Oh no, he's there finally. He's gotten it. So, all I know is I saw a real QB win last night, and the other guy, the athlete trying to be a QB, with Derrick Henry dominating, and you lost the game, bro. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad, I gotta say. Pretty sad. You're up 15. You're up 15 with 11 minutes left. In fact, the Ravens punted at 7:28, still leading. And then the Bills scored 40-32 after that. And then Baltimore got it back at 3:49, and then Henry fumbles. I mean, you want the guy to do everything and carry you. Anyway, Zachary says, I thought yesterday was a great day. I was convinced at the end of last season that McDaniel needs to go. The quicker, the better. Come on, Pats. Put up 30 on the dot. You know, there's a lot of you like that. You're like rooting for the Pats to win because that'll get this guy fired. It's kind of twisted. I can't do that. I just can't. I know it's a detriment for us, but I just can't. So, you know. How does Jalen Hurts win in the Super Bowl? They run, baby. They run, and they dominate on the offensive and defensive line. Something that we don't do here. Something we've never done here, actually. So, something we've never done here. Isn't that crazy? Since the 70s. It's insanity, unfortunately, how it happens for us. It's tough, man. I don't blame any of you out there. It's been a tough go for all of us out here as Dolphin fans. All right, what else do we have going on? By the way, stop with John Gruden. Okay, whatever happens, in fact, they're not going to bring John Gruden now. If anything, if let's say for shits and giggles, they don't win against the Patriots, and they're definitely losing against the Bills, and they're 0-3, and they fire McDaniel, they're going to stay within, and they're going to hire Weaver, and they're going to try to keep continuity and all that. So they're not going to bring in a guy like Gruden, okay? But overall, I just want to say this for those of you out there, stop being tools, okay? The John Gruden idea is a stupid idea. John Gruden got lucky in Tampa that they left him a generational defense. And to his credit, he only needed to add a couple pieces on offense, and he did with the right quarterback and a receiver and a running back and an offensive lineman, and they won the Super Bowl. But then after that, the team gradually got worse and worse and worse every year. John Gruden has never, ever drafted his own quarterback and developed his own quarterback, even though some of you think he's a quarterback guru. He has kept his name in the media with the videos and the shows and social media and all of that. He is a caricature. It's a stupid idea to think or hire John Gruden. This is a guy that also demands control in personnel and made a lot of stupid moves in personnel, especially with Tampa, where he berated his personnel department, would call them in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. and say, we need to go get a guard. And they're like, hey, I'm sleeping right now. You know, this is a maniac. Overrated, and really, it's just a stupid comment, a stupid suggestion, and it's just one moron repeating it after another moron. So let me just help you, because that's usually what I'm here to do, help you and assist you and guide you. Okay? Stop embarrassing yourself. John Gruden is a joke. You can go find somebody else. You can go find anybody else, but not John Gruden. Corso, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Oh, it's time to dump everyone. GM, coach, president, football operation means everyone. Time to bring someone from the Panthers to rebuild the organization. Okay. All right. I explained everything. Maybe you weren't tuning in from the beginning, but I've kind of explained what the order of everything, how it could happen, how it possibly could go down. Jesus Molano says McDaniel will be gone after the Thursday night game versus Buffalo. That's the time to do it. Gives Weaver 11 days to get ready. That's my point. That's my point. Gruden head coach record 109-101. Oh yeah, that pumps me up. Horn Dog. Oh, if I had to pick Gruden, it would be Jay for me. He's better. He's the better Gruden. You're probably right, actually. I'd rather hire John Gruden's cocaine over him any day. Sniff, sniff, give. Well, there you go. We got puff, puff. We got toke, toke, puff, puff, pass. And now we got sniff, sniff, give. Okay. I'm not sure about Weaver, but has to be better than McDaniel. Well, anything's better than McDaniel. Big O, you should be the next Miami Dolphin coach. That would not end well. That would not end well, my brother. That would not be my place in this world. Unfortunately, I don't have that skill set. I wish, but I don't. And I didn't even sleep at a Holiday Inn, so there's no way I can actually pull it off. Can we get to a point that I hear a lot in the media, and I want you to start laughing at it and make fun of it? Okay, and take it from a media member that's been going at it for 35 years now. I'm sick and tired of hearing media members go, "Oh, I go to practice." You don't see shit in practice anymore, dude. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that cover the NFL all around the league, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You watch them experiment in training camp. You don't watch real practice. Real practice happens during the regular season when they're game planning and doing all kinds of stuff, and you're not watching any of it. They allow you guys to watch stretching. So did they anybody predict that they would flop like this against the Colts? I mean, you watch practice every day. Take it from somebody that covered practice when they actually hit and two-a-days and tackled. They don't do any of that now. There are no two-a-days. There's no tackling. They have no idea if a team's really going to be physical. They're all guessing. And they want to add importance because they're sitting there in the stands sweating their asses off. And they have to justify their salary or anything like that. They're guessing. They know nothing whatsoever. That's why in training camp, they're talking up Albert Wilson. And I'm laughing my ass off. You guys are watching glorified practice. A guy with no pads, they're not hitting, they're not tackling, and you think Albert Wilson or Robbie Chosen are going to make an impact? Sure. Come on, dude. What's the name of the great white wonder at cornerback that's always injured? Another guy that he at practice, he made a deflection play a couple of years ago. What's the name of the white wonder there at corner? There's only one. What's his damn name? He's injured now.
Is it Ethan?
There, Bonner. You're watching practice. And you're watching soft-ass practice. Okay? So don't let, in any city that you live in, any team that you follow, when a writer or somebody, "Oh, I go to practice," bro, you don't see shit at practice. They don't do a fraction of what they used to do in practice. So there's no way you'll ever know what a team really is at the beginning of the year. That is the most hollow statement any media member could tell you. I go to practice. You see nothing. You take roll call. That's all you can do at practice. There's no insight. You know, that's what I love about Manny Navarro. You notice that, Sean, for a few years, well, we go to practice, but they don't let us see anything. Like right away, he tells you he's the beat guy. And that's, at least he's like one of the few beat guys that tells you, "Yo, bro, I don't get to see practice." He will find something out if he hears it secondhand from somebody that is allowed to see practice. That's about it. The most hollow statement you could ever hear a football writer tell you is, "I go to practice." Listen to Manny Navarro, who will honestly tell you, "Yeah, we don't watch practice, so we don't know." Yes, sir.
No, just to add on to that, Barry Jackson sent out a tweet about 36 minutes ago, re-quoting his article that he put out. But he put, interesting that Trader Jr. was the Dolphins' number 3 safety in terms of playing time on Sunday. They're bullish on their rookie 5th rounder. Also interesting that Willie Gay Jr. didn't get a single defensive snap after a glorious training camp and preseason.
No, but Willie Gay Jr. is the second coming. Did you hear that here? Did I say Willie Gay was the second coming? Did I not say he's a rotational backup linebacker? You go ahead and watch practice, bro. You go ahead and watch. Great. That was a great tweet right there. Thank you, Sean. That backs me up 1,000%. Willie Gay, the latest of the media darling, because they watch practice. They watch practice. Fucking hilarious. They watch practice. I love that. You don't know shit, Dick. Tracy. You watch practice. That's why you tell me Ethan Bonner and Robbie Chosen and Willie Gay and, oh my God, they're looking phenomenal. And Ethan Bonner made a deflection. He's the great white wonder on the boundary. Then what happens? Oh, but you watch practice. You watch practice. So what, dude? So what? You took roll call. That's what you did, my brother and sisters, by going to practice. You took fucking roll call. Thank you. Who's here? Who's not? Who's injured? Thank you. That's what you know. But Willie Gay? What happened? But I thought he was the media darling. And by the way, it's funny, right? He's the media darling, and I pointed this out. I give Omar credit on this. Now, he didn't write on it, but he goes, but Willie Gay keeps dropping interceptions. And I go, yeah, because he's Willie Gay, bro. You know? He's Willie Gay, dude. That's why he keeps dropping interceptions. That's why he's a backup linebacker. That's why Kansas City said, yeah, no, we're good. His dad, who I even got him confused at one point, decent player also. Same thing. Nothing special. Do you watch football? Oh, I'm sorry. You watch practice. I watch football. I watched when Gay was actually like playing on another team. I actually watch football, not practice. We need Allen Iverson for Dolphin beat writers that say, I watch practice. So Allen can say, practice. We're talking practice, bullshit practice, shells practice, where they don't hit practice, we don't tackle practice. Oh, okay. So you're going to tell me that, was it Brandon Manning, the wide receiver, is going to be the second coming? I think it was like something like that. Manning was his name back in the Jimmy Johnson days. Another training camp star. Yeah. And they hit then. I watch practice. Okay? That's the most hollow and bullshit line a Dolphins writer could ever tell you. I watch practice. The next time they tell you that, you tell them, so what, dude? Practice doesn't say shit. You take roll call in practice. At least Manny Navarro's the one guy on the beat that will tell you, yeah, no, dude, I don't get to watch practice. I don't really know. We don't get to really see it. Love that about Manny. Just be honest. Don't act and put importance because you're stuck going to practice. Okay? And I can expose it because I've been there to practice hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 times. In 35 years, probably. Crazy. Practice. I watch practice. Give me a freaking break, dude. Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen this, but you're keeping track of the last time since the Dolphins
won
raised
the Super
the Lombardi Trophy.
Yes.
There's another one. Do you know how
Okay.
many days it's been since Tyreek Hill made a catch of 30 plus yards in a game?
Oh, wow. We got a new one. How much?
Today marks 365. It was
whole
week one against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if you remember, I believe it was when he did the celebration with the hands behind his back.
Oh. Karma's a bitch, isn't it? Karma has a way of just kind of biting you in the ass. That's amazing. Wow, I didn't know that. That's a new one now. That'll freak him out. Let's see. What else do we have? You don't know diddly poo wet practice. Exactly. The Dolphins don't look like they. That's my point. Did practice show you that on yesterday? Come on, man. Let's see. Did they see the tumbling by the players at practice? Yeah, that's they go there and then they go to practice. Dolphin Dave goes, Big O, you don't go to not this year anymore. I stopped going. I've gone for 30-something years, but I did not want to go this year. I chose not to go to practice. And guess what? Here's the best part. I wasn't at practice. They all were. And I told them all that Willie Gay ain't shit. He's a rotational player, a backup linebacker. That's it. Everybody else was talking him up like he's the second coming. By the way, Willie Gay didn't really stand out in the preseason either, actually, right? It wasn't like he was doing in practice what he did in the preseason. And so then, but I didn't even have to go to practice. I was at practice when the Albert Wilson and they were talking up Robbie Chosen, and I'm telling everybody else, this is silliness they're writing. This is ridiculous. It's nothing. So I don't even have to go to practice, and I know who Willie Gay is. The people at practice didn't know who Willie Gay is. Ain't that a bitch? That's crazy. That right there, you should think about that one. But yeah, I actually, by the way, that's my new rule now. I'm not even going to go back to practice until they make it worth my while. Dude, I've been doing it for 35 years. I don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? And if you want me to go there, waste my time. And by the way, I get tagged all the time by if I use their interviews and all that. Like, I can't even use the material I go there to record. Sean and I were doing it every week. We were going to practice and getting interviews. And then all of a sudden I get tagged by the NFL. Oh, we're going to sue you and this, that. And I'm like, fuck you then, bro. I won't use your shit at all. And that's it. Now, we allow you to use 1 minute and 40 seconds every day. Oh, I'm honored. I can use 1 minute and 40 seconds of your sound bites every day, NFL. Really? Oh, I'm so honored I can use 1 minute and 40 seconds of Dolphin video. And I don't get in trouble as long as I stay under the 1 minute and 40. Well, guess how many seconds of video we play now? Fucking 0. You can shove it up your ass. Why? I don't need you to survive, dude. I don't need your stupid ass sound bites. I break the news here. I give you the insight. I tell you exactly what's going on better than anybody that's on the beat anyways. So what? I'm not here to kiss your ass. That's what the NFL wants. That's what the Dolphins want. I want you to kiss their ass. And I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not tied to any corporate world, and I'm staying the way I am. That's it. I'd rather be who I am, and that way I sleep at night like a baby. That I feel good about what I did. I didn't sell out. So, yeah, that's what I deal with. Ask Sean. That's what I deal with. I'd hire a lawyer and everything to send a letter to the NFL and all that. It's bullshit, dude. Bullshit. Total horseshit. Why? Because, I went and I did the effort to go down there to go record an interview, several of them for our listeners, and then that's how I get rewarded, that I get tagged. Well, we'll give you a minute and 40. Fine, bro. Shove that minute and 40 up your ass. I don't need it. You know, the people that tune into my show, it's because I'm going to give them insight on the Heat and the Dolphins and the Marlins, the Panthers, the Canes, Inter Miami, and I'm going to tell them exactly what's going on because I follow all the sports. That's it, dude. You want to get real talk, you'll get it here. You want to get fluff, there's plenty of places that you can go to get fluff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not playing the game. I'm not doing that. No way. No way. So if the NFL is so soft, which it isn't at all, why is the Miami Dolphins QB always getting hurt if the league is so soft? I don't understand that you're confusing one thing for another, but that's all right. Robert Kinsler, news break. Tua was concussed after the sack. Well, maybe not. Who knows? If it's true the NFL will hold him out again, I don't know. Has anybody said that? Nobody has said any of that. But why? Because you saw somebody post a video on social media? They haven't said a damn thing whatsoever. But whatever. Let's see. Only time O gives fluff is when he's talking about Greer. Ba-boom. We need to bring in some more scrubs. Well, that's with time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just leave it up to the head coach. He'll bury our team. That's all. 112,401 for Bitcoin. What else do we have here? Let me do a little music. Little birthdays. Let's find out what we got going on. All righty. Let's start off with musicians born on this date after a great weekend. Haircut 100 was awesome. Howard Jones was awesome. Jared James Nichols and Michael Schenker. Great weekend for music for me. Wiz Khalifa. Cameron Jabril Thomas. Born in 1987 on this date. Pink, Alicia Moore. Born in 1979. Richard Hughes, drummer with Keane, born in 1975. David Steele from Fine Young Cannibals. Johnny, born in 1960. David Lewis from Atlantic Star, born in 1958. Benjamin Orr, the only guy that looked like a rock star on the cars. Everyone else in the cars looked like a bunch of geeks that should be fixing computers. Benjamin Orr was the only guy that looked like a real rock star. It's funny. And they're all fantastic musicians and a great band and all that. But Orr was the only guy that didn't look like a geek. It's funny on that band. Anyway, rest in peace also. You know, we lost him back in 2000 at the age of 53. Way too young. Ron Meckernan, organ or keyboardist, that is, from the Grateful Dead. Kelly Grucut, bassist with ELO, born in 1945. Brian Cole with The Association, born in 1942. He's a singer with them. Patsy Cline, country music singer, born in 1932. And there you go. That's musicians. Let's go with other famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Let's see. Comedian Sid Caesar, born in 1922. Actor Peter Sellers, born in 1925. Senator Bernie Sanders, 1941, still with us. He's 84 today. What else? Civil rights figure Ruby Bridges, born in 54, she's 71. Actor Heather Thomas, born in 57, she's 68. Actor David Arquette, born in 71, he's 54. Actress Brooke Burke, born in 71, she's 54. Actor Martin Freeman, born in 71, he's 54. DJ Avicii, born in 1989. Wow. No age. He is no longer with us. Holy shit. I don't know who he is, but damn. I just saw him. Like, my God, he was born in 89. He's no longer with us. Diane Doan, actress, born in 1990. She's 35. That is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Yota Tsuji turns 32. The Great Kabuki, he turns 77. Silas Young, not so young anymore. He's 45. Rebel turns 47. Raven, he turns 61. Lodi turns 55. Ken Dixon, he's 41. And you stole this one from me once again.
Oh.
The former WCW heavyweight champion of the world, David Arquette, turns 54. Those are your birthdays for September 8th, 2025.
Why did they invite David Arquette to a wrestling match?
He did the movie Ready to Rumble, and in it, they had WCW wrestlers. They brought him in, and somebody got the bright idea saying, hey, we'll get more publicity if we put the title on him, and he goes on the Tonight Show, and he became the heavyweight champion.
Okay. All right. That's funny. Bag on Head sends in a super chat. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Very kind of you. Sean and I appreciate it. It's not even depressing anymore. It's exactly what you expect. This isn't even a team anymore. It's a disorganized mess. Fire McDaniel now. I would love for them to fire him now. I thought about it, but I'm like, you know what? In 2 more games, you have a window. And you're not coming back with him in 2026 anyway. So you need to just. Here we go, bro. Here's just cause. Let's go. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. Let's see what happened today in music history. Okay. Let's start off with 68, where Led Zeppelin appeared at the Ravenlow Parken in Denmark, supported by the Beatniks and the Ladybirds. This was the group's 3rd ever live gig. In 78, Blondie released her 3rd studio album, Parallel Lines. It features the single Picture This, I'm Gonna Love You Too, Hanging on the Telephone, Heart of Glass, Sunday Girl, and One Way or Another. In 80, Kate Bush released her 3rd studio album, Never Forever. It features the single Breathing, Boom Shaka, and Army Dreamers. In 82 on this date, Peter Gabriel released his 4th studio album titled Security in the US and Canada. In 86, the Human League released her 5th studio album, Crash. It features the single Human, I Need Your Lovin', and Love Is All That Matters. In 1990, John Bon Jovi went to number 1 in the U.S. singles charts with Blaze of Glory. The track appeared in the motion picture Young Guns 2, for which it was originally recorded. In 94, the Beastie Boys member MCA rushed the stage at the MTV VMAs when REM's Everybody Hurts beat Sabotage in the first time as an artist ever interrupted another winner at the VMAs. Well, he sabotaged them. It's kind of the idea. You got to, they're doing everybody hurts. You beat sabotage. He sabotages you. I like it. Very beastie to do that. We go with 98 Everlast released their second studio solo album. The second solo studio album, Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. It features the singles What It's Like, Painkillers, Money, and Today. In 2006, Justin Timberlake released his second studio album, Future Sex Love Sounds. It features the single Sexy Back, My Love, What Goes Around Comes Around, Summer Love, Love Stoned, Until the End of Time. In 2009, Jay-Z released his 11th studio album, The Blueprint 3. It features the single DOA, Run This Town, Empire State of Mind. On the next one, Young Forever and A Star Is Born. In 2020, McDonald's introduced the Travis Scott meal, a quarter pounder with cheese, Sprite, and fries with barbecue sauce. It's the first McOffering named after a celebrity since '92 when the McJordan appeared on the menu. Let's see if there's any other birthdays that I did not see on that other list that were here that sometimes I do get to see something different here that I can mention. Kennedy, former MTV host from Alternative Nation. She is 53 today. Isn't she like a Fox host or something now? Troy Sanders of Mastodon is 52 today. Poor guy lost one of his bandmates recently, man. That sucks. And that is it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. One more. Jay Weinberg of Slipknot is 35 today. And there you go. That's what happened today in Música Historia. Remember, smash the hell out of the like button. Got 303 likes. Thank you very much. Very good for today. That is very, very good. I appreciate that. Keep smashing the like button. We need it badly. Let's see what else. Somebody's sending me this. Crypto treasuries have been ramping abroad with Hong Kong-based Hashkey, the newest firm to raise $500 million to invest across the sector. In addition, Altvest Capital announced $210 million plan to become Africa's first public Bitcoin treasury company, and Japanese corporate Metaplanet, that I already announced today. So, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, right? That's kind of the way it goes. We can tell you about Bitcoin for the last 6 years, all the way down when it was at 16,000. It's up to you. By the way, Bitcoin hash rate went up to 980 quadrillion. I think the last time we talked about it, Sean, it was like 930 or 940, right? Or something like that. It's at 980. Price will follow hash rate. 980. That means this is per second, the hash rate. 980 quadrillion. That's the hash rate per second. It just, the network gets bigger, stronger, more secure as there's more and more miners on the network. It's insane, dude. Insane. The most powerful computer in the world is Bitcoin. Anyway, so what can we tell you? It's all up to you. Big O, I come to your show for the truth on all South Florida sports. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. What else? I don't know what else that is there. All right. We appreciate all of you out there as always. I think I am done for the day. Thank you all. Appreciate Sean Stanley. Thanks to Ira Winderman. Tomorrow, I think we will have Manny Navarro on. So we'll have a little fun with Manny. Appreciate all of you out there. Hang in there. I know it's not easy. Don't forget to hit the like button whenever you're listening or watching at any time. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock from Hialeah Park. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.